G'day, g'day. How's it going? All right, everyone. So, another team podcast with special guest Klean this week. Welcome, Klean. I'll just quickly go through. Last week, I didn't actually say who everyone was again, just in case you knew. But I do have Ghost Freak 66 up the top left, Sigma down the bottom left, Flash probably down the bottom middle, Klean up the very top, and Anton down bottom right. And as usual, we're just going to talk about Tarkov and other random games and just normal stuff, but we generally focus around Tarkov. And last week we didn't do a podcast purely for the fact that I fell down a staircase. And so just for anyone who wasn't around during that, look who it is, just to ruin up the whole format. Last week we didn't actually do a podcast because I fell down a staircase and I was still a bit sore. It was early in the morning. I got up and I went down to make a coffee and I slipped on the top stair and fell face first down the entire staircase.
Do you have security cameras?
No, I don't. And then I tried to stand up. I got to stand up and I was like, I shouldn't be standing. I felt really bad. And so I laid back down and my wife called an ambulance and I went to hospital. They did scans, made sure I was didn't break my neck, and I'm doing a bit of pain, but I'm still good. I'm good. I'm just going to take a while to get better. So I thought I'd summarize that real quick so anyone who's either watching on YouTube or in the chat doesn't really know why we didn't do one last week. But this actually became a very good weekly ritual, I guess we'd call it. Been fun.
I love getting up at 6 a.m. It's dope.
Well, Slash didn't rock up 2 weeks ago, so he wouldn't even,
Yeah, I got drunk the night before. My bad.
Of course you did.
How you been, Clean? We haven't.
I've been good.
I don't think we've had you on a podcast at all, actually.
No, yeah, it's my first time on the team podcast.
Yeah. So you've been doing a bit of other games at the moment, because obviously Tarkov's been a bit stale.
Yeah, I mean, with EFT, I've been around longer than anybody. I've been through every wipe. It's always the same thing. It's just, I hate the redundancy in EFT, and when it's like Slick becomes like level 6 armor is like common, PSS is common. I don't like that. So I go on variety stream, been playing a bit of DayZ, lots of Stalker, been enjoying that a lot. Been exploring the zone, so on and so forth. Been good.
There was actually word about a new Stalker coming out at some point, wasn't there?
2021, yeah. It's on Unreal Engine. I'm really hyped about it. Hopefully it's good.
Is that on the new one you were just talking about?
No, I've been playing a free mod. It's a standalone mod, totally free. It's called Anomaly. It's essentially like the love child of like Fallout New Vegas and Metro. It's like it's a total sandbox. So you can make it like really easy. You can make it super hard, and it's a really good time.
I played one of the Stalkers for a little bit, and I was like, it's fun, but it was it looks like 90s.
It's
super
old school. Yeah,
it's super old school. I love it. I didn't play it when I was a kid, so I don't get the nostalgia. So I found the UI and stuff like that really hard to get used to. So I was like, it's like I can tell it's a good game, but it doesn't have the nostalgia pull for me. So I didn't want to. I didn't play it that much. I am keen to play the new one though. That should be good.
How you been, Veritas?
Good. It's busy. It's working.
Did you change your layout again?
Yeah. I moved my whole room around.
Like every second week for you.
Stop.
I get more tables, so I need to move shit. I finally have like
Every
a little
table
workbench.
is one man made.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6 tables.
This looks really trash. I'm just gonna move this to let's go US West and see if it actually fixes the camera quality. Oh, that's
so much.
Yeah. All right, that's better. Now we can actually see it.
Now me and Clean out Minecraft like mods. Low poly.
It's like a
My camera looks better.
You're so pretty, Anton.
Thank you.
So pretty.
Did you other guys get to check out what Ghost Freak, Sigma, and Anton and I got up to last week with that President Run thing?
No.
I was at work and I was considering, well, not at work, I was here, but I was considering like scrambling and just being like, I gotta go, I got a meeting. I'll see you guys later, and jumping in to help. But no, I didn't get a chance to.
We did this thing where it was like you had to go through every map in a certain order. We changed the rules as we were going just to make it more enjoyable. But I think it's actually going to be a really cool side quest thing. I'm actually gonna develop on. I'm gonna get the highlights from everyone and try and make a bit of a video out of it. But the premise was I was the president, and they had to get me through all the maps twice through factory. And if anyone died, the only way you could revive them was on the second path through a factory. We had to go factory twice, and it was actually really fun to watch everyone else do it and me just sit in the corner like, please help.
Basically like an escort mission.
Yeah,
At one point we just
It was
left
so
past
fun.
completely. We
Yeah,
just
I was
left
just
it in
hiding
the
behind a
corner
box.
and just kept going.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
you understand we're meant to leave the map, and they're like, but it's interchange, and they're shooting.
Did you make it? Did you finish?
The second time we tried it, yeah. The first time,
We died to a the first time.
yeah, like, because you know the what do you call it? Like the cursed on hit. Sorry, tagged and cursed.
yeah.
Cursed on hit. I was thinking Path of Exile. Tagged and cursed. I was hiding with a pistol, golden TT, in like a corner, and a raider on reserve just started like you just heard him sprinting on the metal. I'm like, oh, it's like someone coming over, and he just like stops like the power slide. it's like brrr. I'm like, what? Because I thought it was Ghost Freak or someone saying they were coming over
Me
to
too.
shoot someone.
Yeah, Coast was saying at the same time, I'm coming up, and we heard all the metal, didn't think anything of it.
So are you
Guys,
tagged and
guys,
cursed with pistols? Is that?
I
No,
had
he
more
had
than the
nothing.
pistol
He had
one.
a hatchet. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He the first time he only had a hatchet, so
No,
pretty
didn't I have
much.
a TT?
You dirty
No,
hatchet
the
runner.
first
Not
one
the
you didn't.
first
You
time.
brought the TT to protect yourself from that scab.
Pretty much.
He was like, "Fuck this! I've got 7 rounds."
I had UN armor on though, didn't I? I was bright blue
Oh,
with
yeah,
UN
you had-
armor on.
You know how the scavs can follow you? What if there was like a legit hostage quest where you had to like get a key on shoreline and go break a guy out of a room, kill some scavs holding them? That would be.
Can you imagine
It's
the
good.
AI, the scav AI, following you
Oh, it would be
Like,
terrible.
walking
It
into
would be
the
horrible.
wall
It would
backwards?
be so bad.
Escort quests on every game are the bane of gamers' existence, man. They fucking suck.
Do you remember the
The
World of Warcraft
NPCs
one?
always walk a little faster than you. Like, so if you walk,
Yeah.
you're a little slower, and if you run, you're still faster. You're never
Yeah.
the same speed.
That's
Shit's gonna-
that's the Witcher, like the Witcher mood, man. Like,
Red
if you just
all
sit there,
Rockstar games.
yeah.
it's like, it's so fucking annoying.
What the
Yeah.
president thing actually reminded me of was did you ever play the old like CS 1.6 and there was the oil rig? And it was like oil rigs and it was a VIP. You had one guy who was a VIP and then everyone else had to protect you and you had to get to the exit. It just reminded me about that. It was like there was actually a bit of nostalgia in that.
See, next time you got to do a hostage mission where you have to sit blindfolded and be protected by half of us, and then the other half of us have to come hunt you.
I actually have that planned for the battles for season 3, a hostage situation.
That would be cool.
Oh
Is
yeah,
it-
if anybody's gonna do it good, it's gonna be you.
Because you've got 4 competitors, don't you?
I do, yeah.
And then
So
there's
they're gonna have to go against another team to rescue a hostage.
the just streams
So
not.
sick.
Pick a server.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, you could set it up. pretty much.
We need those private servers so badly for the tournaments. God, they would make
Yeah.
like at this
Yeah.
stage of the game, we could just make our own custom style games and just fill it with stupid content. Just like even if you could just load up a factory and just be like 5v5 teams with your viewers, God, that'd be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
that would be
Every day.
sick.
I
Is
hope for that.
arena mode planned for this year?
Arena mode's not going to come in until like the game is done because it has a
God
lot to do with the
damn.
lore and the personal story missions. So we're not going to see it until like close to 1.0.
2030.
Could be a while. Be a while.
Yeah.
They might decide
Oh,
to
yeah,
switch to
well.
Unreal Engine 5 at this stage.
That's
We're
never
starting
gonna happen.
again.
Holy
Bleed.
shit.
Sucker bleed.
Please.
Yeah. That
looks
Unreal Engine
really good.
5, the lighting looks so amazing though.
Yeah. Those tech demos are always a little bit boosted though in terms of like,
Oh, hell
in terms of like what is actually
100%. Yeah.
possible, like those
like how
Ubisoft
they-
trailers.
Talking about how you could pull stuff just from ZBrush into the engine, and then it just like automatically calculates the voxels on it. Like that's or the vertices on it. That's fucking awesome because it'll like takes like a huge step out of the pipeline for indie devs, which
Mhm.
is especially for making realistic games. That'd be
Well,
really
having
cool.
dev tools that are just seamless are really important. Like I know a developer who made this game called Examina, just top-down, super realistic melee slasher, and he built the engine by himself from the ground up. And his tools are insane. It's literally just like plug and play. Like if he wants to build a map, he literally just like puts a brush and just puts it. Procedural textures, everything. It's wild.
Heaps better. That's awesome.
Does
That's a
it?
good way to do it.
That was on. Did you say Unreal?
That was Unreal Engine 5,
Yep.
the new one that came out. Yeah.
Yeah, the new one.
Is that going to be like the next step for like all the mainstream games? Just to move
Definitely.
over to that one. Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, most games are on Unreal Engine 4 right now. Like 80% of the games out there.
It's good for indie devs though, because they do like a payment model where like unless you're making cash off the dev, then it's free. So you can pay for a subscription for like extra abilities in the game and in the engine and stuff like that. But most of it's just like free until you actually start earning cash, and then they take a percentage.
I literally downloaded the Unreal SDK this morning. Funny
Can
timing.
we watch the video on stream?
Can you give me a link?
It's about 9 minutes long.
Fine.
I'll
Yeah.
find it. Hold on. I was
We
just
can watch it
watching
and you guys can we can just talk over it. Or the
Steam
audio is
audio.
not like Mine
I
is
got
Steam
the
audio.
video.
PlayStation 5 demo.
But actually, it does.
Don't get distracted.
It's running on PlayStation 5.
What's the
but
PlayStation
it has,
5?
It's the new
Well,
PlayStation.
they have like specific audio, like spatial audio that does like echoes and stuff in it, which sounds pretty cool.
I got the link.
If only Last of Us was on PC.
I know, dude.
Oh.
I've never played it. I've never played it.
Me neither.
No,
Everybody tells
Don't
me it's
even-
like the best game.
The second one's gonna be oof.
The feels definitely hit you.
The feels.
I've already heard
Yeah.
there's like lots of leaks already, like with the story and
It's-
stuff happening.
Which game?
Bullshit.
Last of Us 2.
Last of Us.
Yeah, Last of Us.
Yeah, they pretty much leaked like the entire story apparently.
And
Oh, I think the
people aren't
audio's
agreeing with it.
doubling.
That's lame.
People hate it. It sucks though because you can't form.
Should I be skipping this start bit?
Yeah, you can just
No,
show
no.
up and show the text up if you want.
It only takes like 2 minutes. They're about to start.
I mean, there's a lot of remakes coming out now, right? Did you guys see?
Diablo 2, dude. I'm actually hyped about that one.
2,
I still think it's an elaborate. Did anybody check? Was that
Wait.
April 1st?
no,
Bro,
dude.
these graphics
No
are
way.
crazy.
I can't wait. Diablo 2.
Yeah, this looks sick.
Could they
They're
move
showing off a
Tarkov
lot
to
of the,
The reason
showing
the
up-
textures look so good in it is because they could just use movie level textures with like millions of vertices on it.
also the tessellation on the rocks too is like some new tech. Tessellation basically makes it more 3D in terms of the texture, and so like you're seeing like all the bumps in the rocks and stuff. It's really nice.
Bro, it looks real.
Yeah,
You
no,
can make-
it's
When
nuts.
they were zoomed up, it looked. I could not tell the difference.
Why don't they just make dirt-based screens, dirt-based monitors? It'd be way more realistic if you just had like a whoa, what the
Dirt-based.
fuck?
This is Scat Vision.
What is that?
I watched it was either like a TED talk or something about how the future of creativity in gaming and movies is actually going to become less and less because the fact that everyone's just going the easy way that you can actually just scan real textures of items and then they just upload it to this like database, and so people don't even create their own stuff using imagination. They just copy real life.
Bro,
It's the
That's
opposite
how
of that.
BSG
It's
makes
the
the
opposite
textures
of
on the
that.
guns.
I was gonna
Dude,
say,
that- it-
didn't BSG pull a bunch of their stuff from a site like that?
No,
Yeah.
they actually bake. So they actually have this little setup where they'll put like say a gun in like this little box, and they let it sit there for a while, and it literally bakes the textures. So it's like slowly scanning it over and over and over again, and then those textures are like uploaded to some program, and then they take those textures, modify them, and then put them on the gun. That's how they get the textures that
Yeah.
look so real.
It's called Quixel Mega Scan. Is what they use.
It's really
Yeah,
cool.
so the
that-
thing is with that is that so many like the biggest hurdle for, or not one the biggest, but one of the biggest hurdles for game devs is art and assets. So you might have the greatest, most creative idea ever, and you may be able to program it, but it's super hard, time consuming, and or expensive to make it look good.
Yeah.
So with that ability, they can have creators creating, even with they can use them as placeholders, potentially, but even if they're not, it will, I think, allow people to focus on like the actual core design of the games and the features outside of the actual environments and
So
the texture of a chair versus a floor or whatever.
What
would it be
with
possible
like
for
the
Tarkov? Sorry, go slash.
well, with the dynamic lighting and the quicksel scan things and like that, it definitely it makes it a lot easier for small community driven companies or like small teams of like 3 or 4
Modders.
people to be able to make games a lot more detailed and a lot better games without having to put a massive amount of effort and funding into the art and the lighting and things like that, and they could just focus on level design and the mechanics of the game.
Yeah.
So it's definitely like this kind of stuff just
Prime
opens up
priority.
like yeah, well this kind of stuff just opens up the ability to be able to make like more games for smaller devs, which is better for us. We get fuckloads more indie devs making dope games.
I just
The
want
real
all,
test for this engine is going to be, I want to see someone pour a glass of water, and I want to see two people kiss, because lip physics and water physics are the two biggest hurdles in game development in 2020. And we
Veritas, I
need
can give you a link for if you want to see people kiss. Right? Like, it's
I can come over and kiss you if you want.
with realistic lip physics.
yeah, man.
Lip physics.
Yeah, man. Every
Um,
time you watch someone in a video game, it could be the most beautiful video game. Skyrim, they pour the water and it's just a disc that rises. Like this is what we're missing.
Would it be possible, like, to move Tarkov to Unreal Engine?
No, it's way too. They would have to redo everything in
Restart.
terms of the core infrastructure of the game. They'd have to redo everything.
Imagine
wouldn't
they
even
announced
read.
that. Would
Just
you
Control C,
still
Control V,
stay-
easy.
The what?
Would you stay with the game if they did it?
Okay,
That's my question.
Let me word it this way: some of the issues with Tarkov are never going to end, particularly stutters on Unity. Just from my understanding, my limited understanding of Unity, they're always going to have stutters. And
well, Unity is updating though, and they're working. So a lot of the stutters are garbage collection, as we were talking to Nikita last time, and Unity is updating their garbage collection to have like integrated like incremental garbage collection that isn't just a fucking massive dump every like 2 minutes that just makes the game shit itself. So
I actually
they're
don't
doing
like
their best.
how Nikita moved it to every time you get out of an inventory screen, because I like to push inventory screens.
It's so annoying.
Yeah, I go like loot right until the last second before I know someone's going to come around a corner. And then it's like, I go to get out and it's like, oh, here's like a half a second stutter.
Yeah, it's awful. I hate like you'll be looting a body or something, and then you're like, oh, I hear something. You tab out real quick to like, turn and see what it is, and your game just hitches for a solid 2 seconds.
Mhm.
An awful feeling.
But like, you say that they have to start from the start again, but they wouldn't technically have to because they already know what the vision is. You know what I mean? Like they'd be like,
No, but they have to. They can't reuse most of the code. They would essentially be porting it over. So they'd be writing.
Yeah.
You'd start with empty files,
Everything.
and the thing is that there's so much tech debt too that you wouldn't even want to copy paste. Like any programming team that would start on a new engine would probably start from scratch. I mean,
Yeah, you
even
start
like
from the ground up.
networking.
They can
Even the
port
networking.
assets, animations. Those are no problem.
Yep.
But
But even the
like,
networking is built into the engine.
Yeah.
I don't
So
even. I don't think they could do animations. I think that Unity uses a different inverse kinematics system to Unreal Engine, so I don't think you'd even be able to port animations. I think all you'd be able to have is like T-posed assets, and that's about it. That's all you'd start with, just fucking renders of
T-posed.
guns and T-posed PMCs and fucking a million
Killer coming at
concrete
you.
walls and shipping containers. Yeah.
So what I reckon is going to end up happening is there's going to be a gaming company out there that will just be like, hey, let's just make Tarkov on Unity. And they'll start from scratch.
someone's already doing it.
Yeah, I can guarantee
There's
you
no
they
way
probably
that
are.
there's no way that someone isn't already a year in.
Mm.
You know, like
There's already a couple projects being worked on.
This guy and his smile. You son of a bitch. Hit up my DMs, bro. I must know what you talk about.
Even like
I will
Blue
speak on this
Drake.
later.
Blue Drake is making like a community-driven one where it's just like a heaps of community guys getting together and just pushing like a bunch of assets and shit like that together to make something that's fairly similar to Tarkov.
I just downloaded Unity this morning. Like, just wait a little bit, guys.
Saw how long it took. You took a mobile app that took like 6 months. Come on.
Yeah. Jesus.
Oh.
And you're a mobile dev. You're not even a game dev. It's gonna take you fucking 16 years to get Tarkov going, bro.
Broke
So-
the man's fucking soul. Put that goddamn Mac down, boy.
That's his problem. He's working on a fucking Mac. What a
Fucking
loser.
Mac.
Both of
He's
them.
got 2 Macs.
Who needs 2 Macs?
The first thing I did when I sat down in the car with Veritas was like, iPhone? You got an iPhone? And he's like, really? This is a conversation you want to start with? I'm like,
Yeah, iPhone or Android?
I'm Android.
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 It's a Galaxy.
I got an iPhone.
iPhone.
Losers.
I don't need another fucking PC in my pocket.
To be honest, I don't give a fuck. I just
you
like the
just-
conversation.
Pestily's like my grandfather. He walks into Verizon and says, you have anything that makes phone calls? And they just picked one of the fucking Samsungs off the shelf and they handed it to him.
I'm the
And
kind
he
of
said,
person that
cheerio,
just,
and he left.
I walk in there and go, what's the most expensive thing you've got? And then they go, this is the one. This is the one you want. I'm like, done. I ain't got time for this shit.
God.
I don't even do that. I'm just like, does it have incognito mode? Yeah, I'm good. There we go.
All that porn you're
Do any of
watching,
them
huh?
Yeah.
Come with
exactly.
NordVPN built in and Tor.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I need.
Actually, these days it's more about the camera. I actually go like, what's the best camera?
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
go, oh,
I got
there
like
was
3 cameras on this one, bro.
Yeah, and that was the argument when it was like get the. I was picking between like the Google Pixel or something and the S10 Plus. Apparently the S10 Plus had a better camera. I was like, that'll do. Don't really care about the rest.
boy.
Yeah.
Don't want that electric eye watching me, mate. I'd prefer to have no camera so I can use my incognito mode in peace.
It's like you know, like I started the TikTok recently, and everyone's like, "Oh, TikTok, they're spying on your shit," and I was just like, you know, like Valorant has the Valorant anti-cheat is like
Oh,
full
God,
access
here
to
we
your computer.
fucking go.
Like,
It is your PC.
Yeah, BattleEye doesn't have access to anything at all, bro. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it. BattleEye is
Yeah.
People act like it's something new. It's like, but we've
Oh, it's
been
not,
getting
yeah.
information leaked from every social media, everywhere on the internet. I mean, fuck, man, they
My-
can access
my
How
favorite-
cameras
many
all over the
rootkits
world.
do you have installed on your PC right now, Pest? Do you have any idea? No.
my argument was how many was I've already got that many dick pics out there in the world. Nothing they can do can like disgrace me. It's like pff, they're out there.
Yeah.
You know, like
My thought line of that when people are like, "Oh, they're stealing our data," I just always think, "Cunt, you are not that fucking interesting. No one knows a shit what you're doing." Like,
Yeah, just get it from Facebook. Like, they already have it. Get it
Bro,
from Google.
I
They've
don't
had
even-
it
I
for a
deleted my
decade.
Facebook like 4 years ago. I haven't been on Facebook.
I don't
in
even have a
forever.
Facebook, and I was checking my Android, and it uses like 1 megabit of RAM, and I've never even downloaded Facebook. It's just like on there.
I think you probably had a long night, downloaded Facebook.
No, it's
Created
just
an account.
there, bro.
So then who have I been talking to?
It's the 5G.
Gonna get
Anton's-
coronavirus, man.
Anton's the guy driving around lighting all the 5G towers on fire.
That's me.
They won't take me.
He's still on
Fuck it, man.
lockdown over there in California.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yep.
I mean, everyone just goes out and about. Everyone's walking. You would
Are they-
never know it's on lockdown.
Are they social distancing?
Actually, yeah, when I look out my back window, I can see a park, and they're all like 5 to 6 feet away from each other. It's so funny.
I see more people than I used to.
That's because
Everybody's
you're
getting all
going
stir
outside.
crazy.
You never
Yeah,
used
it's
to go
fucking
outside
herb.
before, bro.
Like one summer when Pokemon Go came out, remember that?
Oh my
And then
Oh,
contrast
yeah.
that with this friggin' spring, literally the polar opposites.
Yep.
You know, I was really upset that Pokemon Go didn't actually have like Pokemon battles, so you could be like playing and be like, there's a
Oh.
dude across, and then you could like
Hell
have
yeah.
like a traditional Pokemon fight on your
Yeah,
phone, and it wasn't it
blame-
wasn't there, and I was like, man, this sucks. Why does anybody want to play this? You know, but
Is Pokemon like the Pokemon? I don't know if it's a Pokemon company or whoever it is that owns like
Niantic or something?
Pokemon. No,
Oh.
Niantic. I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that they bought the rights. But when it first came out, like, why would imagine the people that make the Nintendo Game Boy games or whatever, right? Like, they don't want Pokemon Go and Niantic to come out with the fucking most amazing version of their game. They're gonna keep it nerfed so that people still buy like Pokemon Pink Flower version or whatever is next for.
They should have just made it like Digimon though, like the original Digimon. It's like you
Digimon.
get a Pokemon, you got it on your phone, and then you just walk around and you just like fuck up other Pokemon with it. Like it's like the easiest thing in the world.
Like cockfights.
Yeah, exactly. Like cockfights. You and I have very different ideas of what cockfights are.
Like you don't control them at all. You just. Hey,
No,
Ghost.
you don't. Don't you just tap one button? It's like the most boring thing in the world.
I don't know.
turn-based strategy, bro.
Turn-based.
Ghost, what's going on with your hand?
I got some nerve damage. I've got or a pinch nerve or just from the nerve damage back in the day. So I woke up one morning and I was like, oh, I slept on my hand, but I don't sleep that way. And the whole arm from the elbow up is just dead. I have no feeling in.
And
So it's
did you
pretty
just like? Is there a
tight.
reason? You just like maybe like
it's yeah, I've seen it's hard to see doctors now. So I've had
True.
a friend come here, check it, fucking pull me apart, try everything. And you kind of have to like leave it for a little bit and see if it just was a pinch nerve or you heard something. So just naturally. But it's gotten worse.
Say pull me
now it's
apart.
in the shoulder.
So if you poked your hand with a needle, like on the fingertips, you wouldn't feel anything?
Nothing.
I'm
Okay, I
picturing the
stabbed
scene from Terminator where he cuts
Yeah.
his arm,
Yeah.
and peels his forearm
Okay.
back.
Yeah.
So when you masturbate now, it just feels like somebody else's body.
We were all
about to
thinking
say
the
it.
stranger.
Yeah,
We
I
were
was
all
just gonna
thinking
say
the
it. I knew you
stranger.
were thinking it.
Thank God someone said it.
Everybody's
Thank
thought
God.
process is going the other way.
Can you come to my house and jack me off so it feels like something else?
It's the stranger, dude. You don't have to
Yeah.
sit on your hand anymore.
Is there surgery for it?
I'm having a surgery for it. They're gonna need to open up.
What are they gonna do?
They're gonna try and wrap around the nerves from my elbow up and then wrist as well. Open up the wrist because I've got a plate in my wrist as well. Previous. But I mean, just waking up and your arm being dead, I was like,
That's
fuck.
weird.
Yeah, that's pretty
No, I
sketch.
would have freaked the fuck
Yeah.
out.
just,
But
just
it's happened before. It happened before, and I think the
Yeah.
morning I couldn't even crush like a plastic cup, you know. So
Shit.
that kind of freaked me out. But
Is that what you call it? Is that the euphemism? You're just going to crush the plastic cup.
I did something. God damn it!
Man, if
but,
I wake up with a slight headache, I'm like, I need 16 Valium to calm down. I'm having an aneurysm.
All right. You know any brain tumors and heart attacks I've survived? I'm just a champion like that, you know?
Trillions. Trillions. At least 3 a day since I was 16.
Is
Goddamn,
anyone
boy.
else getting a crackle from Ghost Freak's audio?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
getting it too.
Ghost, do you know what's causing that? He's got a little crackle going on.
It could be a power issue.
Obviously,
USB
chat's
issue,
getting it
maybe.
because they got my audio.
Is it mine?
Hey,
No, you're
Right.
good, Anton. You're good.
'Cause
We
I
didn't
didn't hear-
even say your name.
No, I'm not hearing any crackle.
just Ghost Freak.
Well-
Professional podcast.
Because you weren't
Oh,
listening,
chat.
Anton.
Someone in chat said fix my mic, but I don't know what's wrong. I think okay.
Because you're not
You got
talking.
baited.
Talk.
Got any other good ideas, Anton?
Any other? Did I have one?
Yo, Nikita.
Go
An
on.
idea. Why you gotta put me on the spot, bro?
Anton's the best of like you're in
It
the
was
middle
a
of a
joke.
topic. Who's Mike? And we were like talking about Veritas's Mike. He'd be like, so Nikita, with the train and with the scav boss. Wouldn't it be cool?
Hello?
Yeah, it's better.
You have the Go Helicon XLR Ghost Freak?
I
No, it's back.
oh.
It's not too bad, honestly.
It's bearable.
I don't care.
Of course you don't care.
No.
What does that mean?
Fuck. You know what it means, Veritas, all right?
Why are you growing the beard again? You've told me. I keep forgetting. Is it just
I've
'cause
told you?
Yeah.
There's no reason.
It's getting lazy.
Why be lazy? I think it looks okay. Fucking hell.
At least it doesn't look like pubes.
Yeah. Wait.
It looks fine.
You're
Was
talking
that
about Anton?
sarcasm?
No, that was dead serious. Very monotone. Like, my sarcasm can also be very monotone at times, but I'm serious. Like, you know those nasty pube beards that people have? It's like, bro, just shave, please.
Where's the kappa?
Okay.
Twitch chat's got give me trust issues, okay? They don't know how to use their kappas in chat. I don't know how to use them in real life. Oh my god. That actually scared me for a second. I thought somebody was sitting behind you.
It's my kappa sniper. He might be watching my six.
You gotta put him in the killer helmet so you just see like a really small.
I tried to do that, but I can't fit it in there. So that I could like lift the visor and just kappa's right there, but I can't. I tried.
So random update. It took me a while, but I finally got a backpack, a very big backpack, because I didn't have one big enough.
Oh, for the whole realism thing.
That was, yeah. So
What are you
I've been
doing?
wanting to see because of the whole weight system thing, I wanted to see like what the fuck are we all on about? Like get an idea for everything. So there's two things I wanted to just mention. I ended up getting about 120 pounds
50 kilo.
before. Is that 50 kilo? I don't know.
50
Before it started to like legit rip. But I was able to jog for a bit. And when I was walking, it definitely like if I had a stamina bar in real life, it wasn't filling. But also we need to caveat this with I have the littlest stick legs and I'm a fucking out of shape hermit pansy who sits on his ass all day long. So like I'm not exactly the the shape of fitness. But
Could you please get a camera?
Veritas, if you want, I have all the gear. I got plate carriers, I got backpacks. Let me know what footage you want. I will do whatever you want. And I'll record
Could you get a camera with a headset
yeah, but you're gonna make
on?
it look fucking easy, and it's not fair.
No, that's not
Yeah.
true. I mean, full combat load's heavy, man. It's actually like pretty uncomfortable. I mean, you get used to it, but it's
So
it
I
weighs
wanted
you
to-
down.
What I wanted to know
Yeah.
was if you had is it 50 kilograms in the game? Basically, when you're walking, your stamina bar isn't filling. Is that?
Yeah, it's about 50, 55, yeah.
Yeah. So what I wanted to know is like, what would that feel like? And I have to say, for some reason, it felt because I mean, the only thing that has ever come close for me is like piggybacking people, but for some reason, I don't know. Maybe it's been a while since I piggybacked anybody. But yeah, it definitely felt heavier than I thought it was going to feel in like a hiking kind of backpack.
Mhm.
I was able to jog with it. I wasn't stopped from walking. I don't know about what's 75. Is that like 150 pounds?
75 kilos?
kilo.
It's like
Yeah.
145.
Nah, it's more.
I mean, I could.
More?
It's like 170 now.
But the difference between you doing it and like Hotel doing it.
You mean
You
a
know.
man?
I'm not saying that.
So with
I
weight
am.
in
I am
general,
absolutely saying that.
especially when it comes to like say like a modern combat loadout, or we can use the example of like old school medieval knight armor. So like most knight armor, I believe, weighs anywhere from like 70 to 90 pounds. But the difference is that it's evenly distributed across your whole body, so it doesn't feel as heavy. When you have a huge backpack on, let's say the Raid 2 bag, and you have nothing else on you, all of that backpack is unevenly distributed. and so it's going to feel a lot more cumbersome and heavy. Eventually, the weight system is going to change more when they add the mass and the comfort stat to the game. Comfort is essentially going to be a stat on backpacks, chest rigs, armor, and helmets that will basically do a few things like change your ergo, your speed, your stamina, stuff like that. But the most important thing is that it'll reduce the weight of items in your bag. So the mechanic bag will be like the most comfortable backpack. And when you put an item in there, since it evenly distributes the weight, it's a tiny small bag, it'll reduce the weight of items inside of it by like 30 to 40%. Whereas like the raid backpack won't do that as well. It'll still reduce the weight a little bit, but since it's a larger bag, it doesn't have a small area to evenly distribute that weight. And chest rigs will actually do the same thing. So if you have like a really comfortable chest rig, those drum mags, or like say an Ash 12 mag loaded is like 1.6 kilos, it'll weigh like 0.8 kilos instead. And so that is going to really help the weight system a lot, and also allow for players to value specific types of rigs and backpacks depending on what they're doing. So if you want to do the tank battery mission, get the blackjack bag. It's going to reduce the weight a bunch. And then the mass is going to be more for your performance. So if you have a high level of mass, and it's based off of 0 to 100%, high level of mass basically makes you slow. You can't run, but there's some buffs. You get added recoil control, and you have less aim punch when you get shot. So you'll be able to take an impact and just be like, haha, I'm tank, and just keep shooting. And you also get that added recoil control, because when you shoot a gun, the energy that's transferred into the gun that's braced by you is dampened by your overall mass, making it easier to shoot that gun. So if you're a super thick boy with your Altland helmet, your 6B43, and a meta foul, you're just going to literally be able to mag dump, and you're going to have like maybe 50 vertical recoil. It'll be nasty, but you're slow. You'll be loud, and you'll have a lot of disadvantages.
So do you think that, because there's a couple of things I was looking at, I wanted to feel like what that weight actually felt like, and I'm sure it was probably less, slightly unfair, I guess, compared to the game, or in real life, if you had it, distributed better and you weren't like a small boy like I was, like I am. So, but the other thing was that, like, how the size and the weight of a lot of the guns and how they are, um, feels as if it could be, I don't know if it's accurate or if it should be tweaked. Just think about like an M1, how when it doesn't have a mag, it takes up one vertical slot, but as soon as it has a mags, it takes up two columns. I wonder if, like, is that the best way of doing it, or would it make sense if it was not necessarily
I know what you're saying. You're talking like PUBG, like inventory, where it's more about volume than it is actual squares on a checkerboard, right?
And how
I
you
don't know.
load mag stuff. I get what you're saying.
Are you saying like the size of the gun would dictate its weight? Or
No,
the
so I
cells,
started to
or-
think about, when I was thinking about the backpack, I started to look at my rifles, and I'm thinking, saying like, I got a Ruger 22 that, I mean,
right.
it's not a an M14, but it might as well be. It's not like it's significantly smaller. And I just thought about, like, putting a mag in this thing doesn't make it twice as big. If anything, it makes
Right.
it one portion of the thing stick out a little bit longer. But I mean, you could fit, how many rifles like that could you fit in a big ass backpack?
Um,
Ignoring the weight, way more than 5.
well, I mean, you could, I mean, shit. I mean, realistically, like, say if you had the attack 2 bag, you could put like 5 rifles in there. If you took the mag out and you stacked them up side by side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if some of the
They-
sizes of weapons wouldn't be worth, like, looking into and adjusting, especially with future weight things, and I don't know.
You know what that
M4's
reminds
got
me of? I
made
remember,
bigger because of the epsilon container, and people were putting them in the
Yeah.
epsilon container to glitch. That's the only reason they got longer. And I think it might also have. I actually got a real life cat statue from the game, and then I had.
really?
Yeah, I got 2 of them.
That's cool.
They're back in Australia, but they took up 3 squares, and then I had my training M4, which is like a replica M4, and I'm like, this takes up 3 squares. It's this little tiny statue, and then I've got the M4, and it takes up 4 squares, and it's like, why? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like,
Well, it's because it's only you're taking 3 dimensions and putting it down into a 2-dimensional grid, right? If you have a
Yeah.
rifle like this and you put a magazine in it, you're expanding it this way. It's no
Yeah.
reason why you couldn't put a gun here, and
Maybe they should just make it like Tetris, where it's just like one cell comes down. Just
I
like
bet the reason
goes
why
out
they
the
don't
side.
do that, I'm guessing it's probably due to how you handle the stacking, and they have to do essentially like the algorithms to figure out when they move stuff, what's going to fit. It's already not perfect, and it would be even harder if
Yeah.
stuff wasn't always square or
Shit,
rectangular.
Wait,
Yeah.
like I'm assuming all the slots in there are just like stored in some like in a matrix, and they're just like, okay, it's way easy, just do it by squares.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I mean, it's just objects in the JSON that have a width and a height.
Yeah,
There's nothing
but-
preventing them from being, well, actually there is in the fact that if you have a width and a height, you by definition can't have something that's C-shaped. Let's say, for example, you need to be more fine-grained. I mean, they need to redo the whole thing. You know,
Bro, why can't they just make the multi-tool work right now? Like,
Dude, I know.
you know,
Like, why can't we just
like,
take the grip off? Yeah,
just if you have a
Right.
multi-tool, then make it moddable in Raid. Like,
yeah,
I
dude,
don't
100%.
if I was in the middle of a situation where I was like, okay, I need this gun more than anything, but I'll only have like a slot to put it into my backpack that's like a fucking spear shape. Oh no, the handle won't fit. I just hold it up against a brick wall and just fucking smash the handle off.
it would take so long to do all the so they could do it without animations like they did with mag reloading.
Yeah.
I wonder if like Nikita wouldn't be thinking, yes, we can put it in, it would be a placeholder, and then we'd be signing up for doing animations later, and that's literally every single and
don't
I
worry,
mean that's
it'll
a,
just be
that's
that
a lot
whole
of work right there.
gun comes out of the screen, gun comes back up, and it's missing something. But like,
Yeah.
I'm
if
fine
you,
with that. Ship it.
Can we just get the tactical wheelbarrow that I've been asking for?
Shopping
I
carts
want
for
a shot.
interchange.
Yeah, shopping cart.
Have a fucking disc in one of them, dude. Like fucking Scab Boss, like Killer just now has a shopping cart with a 50
If you
cal.
could have a shopping cart, I'd sit in it with a fucking dish.
I just walk behind you like, fuck your heavy
Yeah.
slush.
You know, that would actually be kind
What
of cool
if-
to have like
wait,
items that
wait.
you could use as like basically like a mule, if you will,
Steph?
to carry loot.
Yeah.
New Scout on interchange. They drive the train, and it's a mini armored train with 50
The
cal.
tiny
Wait.
one.
Like from
It
Disneyland.
plays like the little jingle and shit while he's driving
Yeah.
around.
I might do like a 1 to 40, and I'll have a designated viewer or like 5 viewers that will just constantly come into a raid with a backpack with me, and they could just be my meal for every raid. I'm like, you pick up that, and we'll just like.
What's funny
There
is
you
that
go.
Nikita kind of wants that to happen. Like he wants people to fit more into like designated roles. and like encourage people to play as a team. And like for me, like I think like whenever they make buddy med a thing in the game, like reviving players, like being unconscious, like DayZ, like oh he's out of blood, hit him with the adrenaline, wake him up, get your buddy back up. Like that stuff's gonna be really cool. But
Are they
gotta
gonna do that?
yeah,
ever?
eventually, yeah.
I can't wait to revive somebody to kill him again.
He'd be like, hey bitch, just smack him around a bit, eat him some rotten kiwis and shit.
I want tasers just so I can tase a motherfucker, strip him naked, and then just leave him there and know that he's gonna wake up later and just be like, "Fuck, I'm a hatchling." Like, that's all I want.
I can't see the whole med system healing that other person thing. It's gonna get to that point where being a solo player is gonna be almost
On squad, it's just butt touching. It's gonna be Tarkov.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I would love nothing more than to have a game environment in EFT that isn't necessarily always kill on site. Like, I would love to be able to group up with people in the lobby randomly, just like you would say in any other game, like
Like
COD, PUBG, whatever.
if you both survive the raid, you get double XP or some shit.
Yeah,
Like it's just
something,
some
yeah.
incentive to just pick a random person to go along with.
Yeah. It has to be something, some kind of feature that's known by the player base before, like, hey, if I cooperate with this person, we both get a big beneficial reward out of successfully extracting with one another. And, you know, it's not always, oh, just let me kill this guy and take his gear. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I'd really like that. I'd really like that.
I don't like maybe like I don't know what it would be, but just maybe it could even be
Anything.
like the fence thing. You know how like you queue up with someone and you get the
Care
fence
package?
mails
The
you some
extract.
random thing.
Yeah.
The
Oh, that'd be
extract
cool.
have.
I don't know. I do agree though. It's one of those things where like you don't really have any emphasis on actually working with other people ever, unless
Like
you
the scab extract, for example. Like, what
Unless
does
you
a
in real
scab-
life.
Yeah, what does a
Doesn't
scab
work.
have to benefit from anything, from trying to work with a PMC? And plus, there's no way to like communicate to a PMC like, hey, let me help you get out of here. It just let me pull my knife out and hopefully this guy doesn't fucking shoot me. You know, there's
It's the
no
friendly
use
stream sniper exfil
yeah,
is what it
yeah,
is.
I've
yeah,
only
pretty
used
much.
it twice. I've only used it twice, and it was both
Both
friendly
viewers.
stream snipers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a cool idea, but it just doesn't really work in practice. I
They
mean,
should just
I
dual scav. That should be just either you have to be 2 scavs to go out of that, and then it promotes not scav on scav violence. The opposite.
Mhm. I'd also like to see, so like Anton was talking about, like you're doing your president escort thing, right? What if there was a scav, like an NPC scav, that could spawn in like a couple locations randomly in a map, and he just stays in one spot, and you as a PMC could go up to him, and he won't shoot you initially, and if you give him 10,000 rubles, it starts an escort mission, and he walks to the extract, and you have to basically escort that scav to the extract, and then eventually you can extract together, and that would be a way as a PMC, like, hey, I could potentially get out. You get to use the scav extract, but you got to make sure that scav doesn't die.
Nikita said there was a scav like a scav kind of escort extract on reserve, but maybe he meant the whole you team up with a random scav. Maybe that's what he meant. Because they were talking about something similar to that.
No, they said that they were going to have that on interchange, didn't they? When they added the new extracts, and it was just another.
It's just the scav lands, dude.
I'm
You're talking about like.
Oh no, I'm thinking about something different. Yeah, never mind.
I think like right now, all the quests they've even said like they're all side quests. None of the quests feel like and actually like imagine a single player mission where like an event happens, maybe some guy drives off. I don't know. It just feels like the quests are so boring. I'd like to see like maybe lead a guy to a car and then he drives off, or just like immersive shit like that.
So you're right. Like all the current like missions that we have for the traders they're side quests. People think that they're like, oh, this is the end game. No, it's not at all. Like when the personal story missions come in with streets, and this should be coming in with 0.13, we won't have labs or reserve available. You'll have to progress far enough in the personal story missions to then unlock labs, and then eventually get access to reserve as well. And the personal story missions will basically carry that. It'll help us get to the arena mode and a lot of other like end game areas of Tarkov, where that will be like the main progression in the end game. But I don't really know exactly how it's going to work. But that's just what Nikita's told me.
Will escaping Tarkov be?
Yeah.
Well, he said that was going to be at terminal. You'd extract out of terminal. You'd leave Tarkov out of terminal. I know Nikita said that during the podcast. I actually really like the idea of the main storyline. Obviously I like quests, but I think instead of locking the flea market through a level, you just have it as like 10 quests into the storyline, you unlock the flea market and all that kind of stuff, and it's just like as you progress through the game, you unlock certain things. Like a trader could be halfway down.
It would definitely be a better way to introduce people to the game. It's the same way it works in like any other game that you play. You unlock different mechanics as you go along, and you introduce them in a quest. You get given a quest where you specifically get told how to use that mechanic, and then you utilize it during the quest in some meaningful manner.
Yeah, so those first
how to play the game.
Those first dozen are like your tutorial, and on top of that, what I would do is I would have everyone who's doing, say, the quest before the flea market are only with the people that are doing the quest before the flea market. And then once you unlock that flea market, that's when you're opened up to the entire world. So, you could be like, I guess, doing random stuff, but you wouldn't, and you could hoard up a little bit of an inventory, but you wouldn't be able to just start flexing it all out in the flea market up until you get to the point where you unlock it. And from that point onwards, you're with the rest of us.
Yeah. I like that. And maybe it could even be something maybe in like the hideout where like you get a computer and you upgrade that computer and you increase your relations, and then you have like access or like some kind of drop box or something in your hideout that allows you to drop items in there to sell it. I don't know.
Yeah, they could definitely put a great story behind it.
Talked about like making intelligence in the hideout, like leveling up that to get the flea market. I think flea market
people
30.
When people have been critical of the quests, so I'm curious to know what you guys think would be a significant change, because everything I'm hearing just makes me think that it would be the same sort of requirements. There would just be a bunch of flavor around it, but that doesn't mean that the quest system is different. So maybe, I don't know, Klean or anybody else, like, I'm sure that I'm assuming that it's just kind of like a hand waving thing when they're like, don't worry, it's all going to change. I kind of want to know, like, how.
My understanding,
what do they mean?
There is cinematics coming throughout, and it's meant to be like an in-depth lore storyline. So, and it's like there's gonna be like full voice lines. Like 41, I know he said he's recorded like a couple of thousand lines, and that's going to be used as part of the storyline, I would imagine.
Yeah, but that doesn't change the game mechanics of go fetch the pocket watch from the
Well,
jacket.
so the quests are going to change like this. So like 1.0 Tarkov, when we go play it for the first time, first wipe, last wipe, I guess you could say. We don't have access to Flea. We don't have traders. We don't have anything. We have to do a single player story mission. We have streets, and that's it. Once you extract from streets, you go to suburbs. Once you're out of suburbs, you go to whatever the interchange. And by the time you get to customs, you actually meet Prapper, Therapist, and Skier in like a literal physical location. They'll have their own like mini raids that are traders, and you meet them. By the time you get to customs, that's when you'll do the pocket watch quest and all these other things. Because right now it's like we have everything presented to us, and it's just there at the beginning. Eventually, like we have to play the game and unlock that stuff. Kind of like what Pestily was saying with the flea market. It'd be cool if eventually, like, if we have progressed far enough, we get the flea market. That's how it's going to change. We're eventually like we have to unlock each raid by surviving it.
Right. I guess what I'm saying is that like when people, including me, like I said, you guys know I've done videos and stuff on quests, on like Shooter Born in Heaven or whatever it is. Like when people complain about a quest like that, they're not complaining about the text in the description of the quest, how you got there. Like you could put the most amazing real acting and voice acting and 3D whatever before it, and all this cool stuff after it, but typically people are criticizing the core thing that you do for the quest. So and that is that changing, or right? Like, and if it's not, I mean, I just want to know, what the plan is. I don't think anybody does.
I don't think it's going to be any different, bro. I think it's going to be pretty much the same thing, but it'll be probably more like bronze pocket watch. Go into a raid, loot that item.
Yeah.
It's not going to be
I want Battlefield cinematics in Tarkov. And
so then
great.
Okay.
But then
I want to sail a ship
all
like Black Flag.
Isn't like all of the criticism of the quest design then totally like not validated or warranted? Like if there's issues with the design, there's nothing about those things that are changing. You can put a cutscene before it and after it. You can lock it behind as many things as you want.
You also got to remember they're side quests though. They're not like main missions.
Daily quests and
you can say the same thing with The Witcher though. The Witcher has like a whole bunch of side quests that are based on killing monsters. Essentially, the idea of every single quest is you go to talk to some prick. He says, "There's some other prick pissing me off." You go and kill the prick. It's a very simple mission structure, but every one of them is made different by the cinematics around it and the
storytelling
steps that you do to like the actual storytelling. They're not actually at the end of the day. Like if we zoom right out, it's just about killing a dude. Like it's not like and Tarkov, like it's every single quest is about killing a dude or collecting something. It's not really that complicated, but that's like if we're taking like massive broad strokes on it, then like it's the flavor that adds to whether a quest is interesting or not. In my opinion.
It's a cutscene before Shooter Born in Heaven.
I honestly,
Exactly.
I like the
Heaven's
quest where you
awesome,
have to
guys.
choose
I
in
love
between, like different traders, like the chemical mission. I like the fact that like you can choose to turn it into the therapist, prapper, skier. Like having more variations like that, like more dialogue choice, I guess. Would be
that's
cool.
interesting. What you're talking about, that's because there's repercussions to what you do and how you do it. There's reasons for it. It's not like most of the criticisms that I've had have to do with arbitrary, nonsensical requirements. Something like Shooter Born in Heaven is an example of, I think, one of the worst ones. I actually think the quests where you have to wear, like, as much as I hate where they are in that they tend to be like mid or late in your progression, like wearing the Untar armor and M4 and going killing scabs, like that makes sense to me. No, that makes sense to me in terms of game design, because in the universe, what you're doing, it's almost like false flag. Like you want to pretend like you're the UN to make the scabs hate those up, like make the two factions fight. I hate that you, once you finally unlock like level 4 and 5 armor, they're like, cool, now go wear level 3 armor, run around and use a Mosin. But in terms of like the universe and motivation, it makes sense, which is why, like, and that's what I'm talking about. Like,
but I think that's the idea.
Like
they're gonna have quests like that where you have to do that kind of thing, and then they're gonna add flavor cinematics at the start of it, and give you the reasoning in a captivating cinematic, and then give you a specific quest where you need to do somewhere. But then like things like Shooter Born in Heaven, like it's meant to be like an achievement, like a PlayStation achievement. It's like, oh, I picked up 50 leaves on fucking Animal Crossing. Like that's the kind of, that's how they're meant to be viewed. Like it's not like there's no specific reason to go out and shoot someone from 100 meters. There's no one that would be watching you. Everyone that is there, you have killed. Like there's no evidence of it. It's obviously not going to be a storyline quest. Like it is just a gameism for achievement.
I think the way they could do quests to make them a lot more enjoyable or a lot more decisive on what you do is it actually helps develop who you are as a character. And then on top of that, you could even say that you could go down the path of, hey, you're a bear, you're a USEC, you have your own set of quests that you need to do for your own trader. And I actually feel like there should be a bear trader and a USEC trader. Don't talk to me about how it's going to be balanced because, M4s are better than AK. Oh, I don't give, let's just go with this. Let's go with the theory for a second. All right. But there's actually making that decision to go bear is actually implements you in the game. And then you have access to certain guns and ammo that you wouldn't as a USEC. And then when you go kill a USEC, you're like, holy shit, he's got those guns and that I can't buy, or vice versa. Yeah. And I feel like, and then you could have a couple of quests going down that unlocking certain guns for those traders. And I just feel like that would actually give more emphasis on your pick of who you are and your character in that. But to do that, you would need to also have the ability to pick and have two active
Honestly,
characters.
You want to know how they could do that? So depending on the faction you choose, we have a lot of quests where like if you finish this mission, it allows you to buy this item. You could make that different per your faction. So like for Prapper, the Bears get Ash 12, USEX get some, I don't know what it would be, but just something.
The M1A. I don't know.
M1A, whatever. It could literally be whatever. But
speaking, I want to be French, so I can use FN guns only.
Yeah. But speaking about quests, I was actually talking to Nikita the other day, and I want to actually get a little list of items because the quest rewards themselves for a lot of the missions suck. They suck. And he actually told me it would be okay if I go through, look at the quests, and see what would be better rewards. So if you guys have any ideas, let me know. Like, what do you think would be a good reward for this quest or something like that? And this could happen next wipe, so that we could actually get like decent.
I had to think about this.
You should just unlock items that you can buy from them and give you cash. Like, why do I need
straight money?
If you're just going to give me a gun that might last me 4 minutes, right? Like, but at least like the money I can spend on whatever.
Not 4 minutes, maybe 2 minutes. Okay,
maybe. There's 2 minutes of matching is what I'm working in there.
So let me put it into this perspective. I thought about this a while ago. And it's like for every 1,000 XP, you should get 10,000 rubles of value. Because at the early quest, you get like 600 XP, and then you get like a couple of 1,000 XP. And then the very, very late quest, you're getting like 15 to 30,000 XP, like on the best quest. Like, dude, a 30,000 XP quest really late in the game would give you 300,000 XP. 300,000 rubles. And then the early quest being like, 4,000 XP would give you 40,000 rubles. And it would just kind of like increase as you go. And it's an easy way of doing it. And it could be based on value. Like, you could still get like 2 flash drives for a quest, and that's 90,000 rubles worth of value if you vendor them to the fence. But then, if the quest gave 15,000 XP, you should still get another 60,000 rubles on top, or a third flash drive.
What about some cases? Honestly, I feel like the new guys... Yeah, the new guys that are coming in, this is their first wipe, and most of them are asked about the cases. And
they're on standard accounts too, a lot of them too.
Yeah, and they get really excited about like getting, your thick case. Like, why aren't we giving away more cases?
Well, that was actually going to be
costs way too much.
That was actually going to be one of the rewards for like one of my ideas for one of the quest rewards. Like I think maybe like the 5th mission for therapists, like Gas Analyzer 3, or maybe whatever one's after that. It'd be a scav junk box as a reward.
That would be cool.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I just don't want to do a sniper quest and unlock M905. Like that just doesn't make sense. That's just like
doing a sniper quest.
They
I don't
did
want to do a
change that.
fucking. I don't want to do a fucking Mosin quest and then be rewarded with fucking M700s, because I can tell you sure as shit once I finish all those Mosin quests, I ain't picking up a bolt action rifle for the next 3 months.
Yeah,
it's so annoying. I fucking oh God! If you do send Nikita some feedback on this, can you please tell him? Can we make it so any of the Mosin quests can be completed with any bolt action rifle?
That's
Just
not
so I
gonna happen.
don't have to.
That's not gonna happen.
No,
Sorry.
it's-
The reason why they did that is
hate
because
them.
there will be quest lines just like the Tarkov shooter quest for like every gun in the game. Every gun in the game will eventually have a quest line like that.
Put the Mosin ones at the beginning.
The reason the
Please.
Mosin ones exist
Actually,
at
that's
the
the
moment
Mosin.
is because of
It's
that.
miserable.
But you got to unlock with Jaeger now, and Jaeger has all those quests
Jaeger
and
too.
shit now.
I get to like level 45, and now it's like all this stuff you just unlocked. You don't use it if you want to progress through the quest. You have to go and use all this other shit that you've been avoiding forever. It
That's
just
what
makes
I'm
sense
supposing.
if that's if you have pistol quests, make them early. Shotgun quests, make them early.
I think they
make
should
it
be
scale.
I think they should be as an aside from the main quest line to get the kappa and stuff like that, like those kind of things. They should just be treated like there's enough quests in the game. I think they should just like the gun specific quests should start being treated as like side quests that aren't like part of the main. I don't know if it's
But they
time
are
to start
side
doing that
quests.
yet. Oh,
Because the main quest is play the game.
Yeah, escape Tarkov, but we can't do that yet because like the Tarkov we're playing right now and have been playing since it's been out has been not like we're like immediately thrown in the mid game already. There is no like the beginning is just using shitty gear and then eventually getting better gear. But we're just like the way Tarkov is now, we're just kind of thrown right into it.
I don't get that impression at all from Nikita when he talks about it. So like I might be the only one, but like I got the impression that we were I don't want to say really close to the end, but like the game is pretty solidified like where it is. And there's going to be more systems and more content, but like is that really going to happen?
Well, yeah. Well, like I said, like eventually, like 1.0 Tarkov, like when we play the game for the first time for the last wipe, like the first thing we do is an offline tutorial mission on Streets, and then we play Streets online. And once we extract Streets, we get another raid. Then once you finish that raid, you get the next raid, and we slowly have to like play through the map to unlock the new locations. By the time we get to customs is when we find our hideout. Like we won't even have a hideout until we get to about customs or so, which will maybe only take a couple hours to assuming you survive the raids, but.
I feel like they're holding a lot back so they have something big to drop with like 1.0. Like they don't they're just trying to get the actual systems working and add all the guns and stuff like that before they actually drop all the quests. And maybe they're working on this kind of setup and shit like that for future wipes.
I get so confused
Obviously.
by it all.
I hope you're right.
Go ahead,
We
Tom.
talked about this last time, and I don't think chat really liked it because they said it was like COD. But what if like you had to get level 3 M4 to get the best handguard for the M4? Like that would kind of be
master it.
Yeah, like give something for the masteries because it would kind of be like endless progression with every.
I mean, you do that with the Mosin. You do that with the Mosin though already. Like you unlock the Brahmat and stuff like that as you go along the Mosin quest.
If they do a quest, if it was level, you wouldn't have to quest. It would be you'd kill anyone. You could kill PMCs. You could kill scavs. Maybe add more than 3 levels because there's only 3 that would, and they're not that hard to do. It's about like 500 kills to get level 3 on a sniper. I think it's not that bad.
Snipers take forever to master because the way mastery works, it's not whether or not you kill somebody, it's on hits. Yeah, exactly. So snipers take the longest because it's usually one shot, one kill. Whereas like shotguns, submachine guns, assault rifles, if you're using like shit ammo, you hit them a lot.
Maybe if you're shooting clean, it's one shot, one kill. There are some people like that.
I go for cock shots only, so
I like
dick meta.
I don't know. When I unlock a trader, I feel like it's just a mess. Like you get level 3 mechanic, and it's just millions and millions of parts.
Yeah. Oh, and then what sucks is that all of them aren't like all the attachments and the guns aren't even balanced. Like there's one meta loadout for each gun. There's no variation.
On the right level. Like the best grip is on level 3, and then there's a worse grip on level 4.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, the attachments and the gun stats overall are like completely unbalanced.
Someone to Photoshop a backpack on my back real quick. So, just for the Twitch rivals. Just
I don't know. To see them polish.
I think they should have like levels of like 5 levels of a meta attachment. So like there's like 5 levels of foregrip, and you have a choice between like 5 different foregrips for level 1, 5 for 4 and 5. And so it's like when we get to the top level, there's 5 different foregrips that you can choose. Maybe one that's like, or maybe even 3, where it's like one's the best for recoil, one's the best for ergonomics, and one's a balanced one. And they're all the level 5 ones.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, it'd be nice to have like 3 different variations of a gun that all have the same stats more or less, but they just look different for the sake of, what you want for cosmetic appeal.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I definitely don't like building just for the meta because it just looks.
Meta
It's been
guns look
old.
like shit. They look like shit. They always look bad. They don't even look good. You build a gun to look good, bro. That's cringe. You don't min-max your stats, bro.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone in real life running an M4 having like a fucking grip as big as an RK2. It's like fuck.
It's
like
long.
It's not even a bipod grip. Fuck me.
I've never seen a professional shooter or someone that's really into shooting have something like that. Like they always have like little vertical, like fucking little angle grips and shit like that.
Low pro stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's, I mean, size is weight, and it's slow. You have stuff that's low profile and that's light. It's more maneuverable. It's more ergonomic.
His fucking finger works.
Enjoy the ad, nerds. Oh wait, they can't even hear me if they're watching an ad right now. Damn. Well, everybody not watching an ad right now.
Which one to pick?
Yeah.
Where's my G Fuel at, dude? But yeah, no, this is my AR-15 right here. I got like a little BCM like vert grip on here. That's low profile, but like
really light. Actually, when you grip that, you barely use the grip. Like you don't grab.
I mean, I do. I go like this. I kind of go over the top like this.
Yeah, but you don't grab
but
it.
I'm not like nobody really does this IRL. Like people don't do
I've
this.
never seen someone do that shit.
Nobody does this.
Because the further down you are away from the center, the more it gets janky, right?
Like, well, when you hear if you're putting pressure on the top of a rifle like this, the C clamp grip, right? You're actually putting weight down on the rifle so that when you're shooting it, you're able to control the recoil a little bit better. Versus if I'm just doing this, it's not really like it's just not doing anything.
That's like the C clamp is universally respected as being like the best way to grab a rifle at the moment. But then like you've got like the RK2 is just like this big fucking stick hanging off the thing, and he's just like, this is my Tommy gun.
What about the CQR? Would the CQR be a good IRL?
Oh, that massive ergo.
Oh, you mean like the space gun grip?
Yeah, the one on SH.
I've never seen anybody run that in real life, dude. Nobody. Like, it's the stupidest thing. And it's the best grip in the game. And it just space grip.
We got a bunch of professional shooters in chat saying that C clamp isn't universal.
Well, it depends on.
They're also professional game designers and professional FPS players and professional military contractors and
one of my biggest issues with guns right now in EFT is the fact that like when you go like you're at the ready position, right? As soon as you sprint, guns down, and as soon as you stop, guns immediately back up again, like in a second. And you can do that with like a long ass rifle, like Meta SA58 or whatever.
Yeah. The run peaks.
I hate that shit. And the AD strafe meta is getting out of control.
When you go out of run and then you right click and your gun goes like this. It's like, what the fuck, Chad?
It's like when I do the John Wick runs and I've got the pistol and it'll be like it just does this over exaggeration sometimes.
Yeah. It's so ridiculous.
I feel like if they made it too slow though, like the coming up to ADS, it would just feel clunky, but that is something they need to fix. Like the peaking is kind of annoying.
For me, I feel like it should only affect like really long guns. So if you have like a Meta SA, Meta M1A, Meta HK, they're really long, like long guns. Because even if if I have a gun that's 8 pounds and it's this big versus 8 pounds and it's this big, since the weight is unevenly distributed, it's going to feel heavier in general because you're sticking it forward. So if you go from sprint, that longer gun would take a little bit to come up. Whereas if you have like a short, more compact weapon, it would be a lot easier to reshoulder it quickly from being on the move.
I don't know how they would implement it, but there needs to be a way that you can go to like a high ready, and all you have to do is literally just go like that. Like
it's and low ready too. Like low ready being here and then just
we kind of patrol in the low ready in Tarkov. It's kind of always in the low ready, but it's instead of it being like down a little bit, it's more like that.
Yeah, well, you're actually in the ready position. You're shouldering the gun. You're just not looking down the sights.
It's just like that. But in real life, like particularly with a pistol, you'd actually just be looking above the muzzle, right?
Yeah.
And you'd be
right
going
here.
around and you just go like it'd literally be just that. Like
in
Tarkov, it's like I don't know. It's like here, and you got to go up. I don't know. I don't know. I think it would be a lot faster actually than what we actually experienced in Tarkov if they just had it in the high ready.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of like space in the game to sort of get away from like the rifle meta where it's like you're using like the fouls. Like obviously the Val at the moment is a little bit OP. They're gonna nerf the fuck out of that because it does high flash and high penetration.
I know they're not gonna nerf it. They're not gonna nerf it. They'll make it rare, but they're not gonna nerf it because 9x39 is so dangerous IRL. Like the Russian government literally banned 9x39 from being used on its own civilians because there's such a high fatality rate. If it hits you in the arm or the leg, it's going to do so much fragmentation damage. It's going to tear your artery and you're going to die.
It's going to
scary.
But it's not really any more OP compared to like AKs with good ammo and M4s with good ammo and HKs with good ammo.
The reason it got popular is because M995's 2,700 a shot. So
yeah,
if you want to one tap
VSS is way more.
600. You could one tap someone for 600 rubles. That's
I think they should move towards like more of an SMG meta for like because there's like so much CQC fights in this game. Like I think more of an SMG meta would be more interesting.
Nikita said they're buffing 9mm. They're buffing 9mm with penetration and damage. So, because at the moment, it's actually cheaper to run a 5.7 than it is a Grach or a Glock.
With AP. AP is twice.
Yeah.
AP is not even good. Like SS190's got 37 pen. AP 9mm is 25.
AP will never one tap a visor.
If you use this is something I've noticed. And even rip rounds like 9mm rip rounds are like fucking 1,000 a round. When you can use R37F out of a fucking P90, it's just as good. It's a quarter of the price.
You're one of those guys. You're an R37er. Oh, okay.
No, but
they look at the penetration.
That kind of shit.
They look at the ammo chart because nobody knows what the numbers mean, and they say what's the biggest penetration value or what's the biggest damage value, and that's why I've since the beginning of the patch been able to sell rip ammo and blue tips and stuff for ridiculous prices always because people think that they're like wicked good and
but they're not.
But there's heaps of rounds that just get no attention and they're just as good as other ones. Like you got like 12 gauge rip rounds, like super performance and grizzly and 8.2 mil buckshot are all just as good as shotgun rip rounds, worth nothing.
So there's gonna be one feature,
200 of them for 10k.
There's one feature that'll come in that'll drastically change this game, and that's body armor hit zones. So you know how helmets work, right? We have different hit zones on our head. Body armor is going to work the same way eventually, because right now, like when you have anything that covers your thorax, it covers the entire hitbox of your body. When you have a slick armor, like it only covers where that plate is. Like I have a plate carrier over here. There's no armor up on my collarbone. There's no armor right here. It's completely exposed. And they're eventually going to add a system with body armor to make it to where body armor will now have like advanced hit zones. So if you hit somebody in the armpit, you're going to destroy them. You're going to deal full damage. So those hollow point rounds will be very dangerous. So using, like you said, an SMG with hollow point rounds, you want that to be a meta. That will be against guys like Slick. Assuming you don't hit the plate, you're going to fuck them up. But if you fight a guy with like, say, a Gen 4 HMK, that has level 2 armor, which makes those hit boxes a lot smaller. So his armpit is really the only spot where you can hit, whereas on the Slick, he has his whole side exposed.
Go for the throat every time. Straight for the throat.
This is going to be the meta in the future is right here, like the collarbone, right here, the shoulders. That's going to be the meta. Too.
Because most people by default aim for center of mass, and sometimes they get lucky with the recoil going up to the chest.
But you also got to remember, like again, the Gen 4 HMK, the 6B43 has that neck armor. That's like level 2 and 3 Kevlar. So if you're using, say, hollow points, that's going to do nothing. But if you use 9mm AP or SS190, it's going to go through the soft points. So like is
it just going to be price that's going to prevent it, like M61 or 62 one tap to the head? Like that still seems like it's going to be the best.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the best AP round is always going to go through everything. You know what I mean?
But is it price or a quantity that they're going to limit it or whatever?
Potentially, I have no idea.
We'll wait and see.
But
it's going to be so hard to balance.
Like they don't have so much. It shouldn't be balanced though. They don't want it to be balanced.
EFT is supposed to be all about dynamics. It's supposed to be about so many different situations which you can try and prepare for, but you might run into a situation where somebody prepared differently to counter you.
Going back to Pokemon, right now, fire, grass, and water.
Yeah, bro. Like right now, it's just like best armor, best helmet, and that's like you can prepare for that and know that there's not a lot of people that can defeat you. But now, like, or at least in the future, you bring in a Slick. you have to think, oh shit, if I find a guy with a shotgun or some dude with a SMG with hollow points, he could destroy me if he hits me in the torso.
My problem at the moment, though, is that like their idea of balancing the game is just by limiting the purchase amount, and it's getting to the point where they've nerfed pretty much every purchasable ammo to the point where you can only buy like 150 of it, and
which
so
isn't even
like,
for one raid. It's enough of ammo.
It's like one raid. It's getting sort of frustrating where it's like, if you wanna run a gun consistently, like you just want to run the same gun over and over again, it's getting quite annoying. Like the buy limits and shit like that are really frustrating.
Nikita told me next patch that they're going to change the ammo availability and stuff because people won't be able to buy it, sell it on the flea market anymore. So we'll actually be able to.
Yeah, because that's there for people flipping. Those limits are there just to prevent people from buying 1 million, let's say, Soluas and reselling them on the flea market.
Who would do that?
I pulled that one out of nowhere. I pulled that one, just a random example.
Fuckhead.
Why put in a ghost ring calling him a fuckhead? Holy shit.
No, that's going to help a ton. I mean,
what did I do?
He's got nerve damage and now you're calling him a fuckhead, Slush. Jesus.
What?
I was talking to the prick with the mustache on the top right.
My OBS just crashed.
That's all right.
It's like, I didn't say shit. What the fuck?
I think Nikita brought up the whole, in the Russian podcast, the whole dynamic trader thing. I got no idea how that's going to be. It has to be manually managed. It's not, because otherwise it's going to go down to that whole.
You said it's going to be controlled by an AI.
And I'm gonna abuse the shit out of that.
No, I hope you do. I hope you break it because he's like, from what I've
Chat,
heard,
we're making $1 million again.
Is like, for example, there'll be like 1,000 M4s throughout the entire game, right, or something like that. Like there'll be limited amounts of specific items, and so if like if there's 1,000 M4s in player stashes, they will no longer spawn in raids anymore. You won't be able to find them, and then eventually it'll like replace it with like a new item or some shit. And I don't know how that's gonna go. It's probably, like I said, you're probably gonna break it, and I hope you do.
Well, what
time you broke the flea market and made like
1,000 of them on the flea market, though? They're just gonna go on the flea market. They're just gonna be more expensive, but not expensive enough for people to just buy.
I couldn't really tell you. I don't think anybody will really know until we can actually like test it.
I can't wait to buy every single M4 and then just bogart them and sell them for trillions of rubles each.
If you buy something on the flea market, does it retain its found in raid status?
Yeah, so we'll be able to buy stuff off the flea and resell it on the flea because it'll still be considered found in raid, and we can also turn it in for a quest. But if you bring that item into a raid, it's no longer found in raid anymore. So if you buy a slick or buy a gun and it's found in raid, as soon as you bring it in, you can't sell that ever again on the flea. You have to use it or vendor it.
That doesn't work at all. Then
what do you mean?
It means you can
still do the whole point.
So if you want to sell a slick, you have to go into a raid, kill the scab boss or a raider, loot it off and survive. Then you can sell it. However, as soon as you take that out of the stash again into another raid, it loses the find and raid tag and can no longer be circulated into the economy.
Yeah, but if I could go and buy every single, assuming that, let's say there's 1,000, if I'm rich enough, I could buy every single item, and now I'm the only one who owns every single item. I am Walmart now.
Just how real life works. You can buy all the stocks and resell them. That's how it's going to work.
Great idea, Veritas.
Wait. But if you buy it, it's not. You lose the in-raid.
Tell them when
you don't. Money. Just said you don't.
No, if you buy it off the flea market, it should retain its find and raid tag. It only loses it once you go into a raid.
Okay, so I can always see.
All right. It can't work like that. Not a fuck. Because I mean, you're gonna have guys that just.
I'll be level 40 in 12 hours. I'll be level 40 in 12 hours.
It makes the flippers harder.
You
like it makes it worse. How does it not make it worse? Because now you're limiting.
It all depends on the lootable economy too. Like the loot economy has a lot to do with like how the find and raid stuff is going to feel, because like we need to be able to find a lot of this shit in a raid in order to sell it, whereas it's not on the player, that assuming they didn't bring it in.
Well, you don't need to find it in a raid. You either need to find it in a raid or just buy it from somebody else who found it in a raid.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you have enough money and buy it all off the flea, you're the majority holder, and then you can spike it up.
So now it makes it worse. It makes it worse.
It makes it worse. Yes.
Yeah,
because now you can't buy it unless you buy it from Joe Schmo with 9 million.
But will people be making as much money with like how the flea market will work with find and raid?
People might not
At
be,
first,
but
no.
the scripts
Yeah.
that people write.
Yeah, I mean, I know that.
I know I'm a clown and everything, chat. Just fucking wait.
Yeah, Veritas is cringe.
They're gonna blame me for this.
I mean,
Oh, dude, I've already got.
It
I've
is your
already,
fucking fault.
already
I
got a
know,
full
right?
video made. Blame Veritas. Blame Veritas.
if you buy something, it has to lose find and raid status instantly when you buy it. If it doesn't, I will be flipping and fucking this market easy because there's already
Yeah.
15 ways, and I've got 20 people messaging me right now that we can make something as well.
I hope you guys figure out how to break it if that's how it is, honestly, because that's what testing is all about.
I end up just removing it, so no flipping. It's
Yeah,
the
see,
bot.
that's the thing is it's gonna make it worse.
On a player
Like,
level, it's fine, but with scripts, it's too much.
Yeah, I'm
Scripts
just
have to
afraid that like. So here's the thing: we say don't criticize a feature because it'll be built this way. Then criticize it. So then it gets built this way, and then they say we're going to tweak it. Don't criticize it now because we're going to tweak it. And then what's going to happen is eventually one day it's going to be done, and it's going to be in a bad state. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm just worried that that the ammo and the ballistics and all the things are because constructive criticism and feedback about features and systems and stuff. At least from, I mean, between streamers and stuff, it's fine. But I think like within the community, there's
I
a
think
difference between
the one thing that needs to. There's so many issues with the flea market. The first one I feel like that majorly needs to happen is they need to lock it for the first 48 to 72 hours. Just pause it and give it a minute. You know what I mean? Like, and then let it all. I reckon if the wipe's gonna happen, servers are gonna be down. People will start getting level 10. Flea market will get smacked hard. The inventories will go down because people will like be trying to sell shit on the flea market and all that. If this whole find and raid thing, this is how I see the wipe happening. Like I'm probably gonna have nap patterns throughout it. But like the flea market will start getting assessed. If you can buy items on the flea market and they still have the found in raid tag, then I'll be level 40 in the first 24 hours, which means leveling will be easy.
Yeah. Yep.
Because I can
questing, because questing will be easy.
Yep.
Just buy it, turn it in,
hand it straight in. My black rock.
and it's going to be super expensive.
Goddamn black rock.
Yeah, it will be
No,
really
no.
expensive at the beginning
Community.
for sure.
I mean, if you have 4,000 or fucking 9,000 viewers and you go, I need a Salua.
I've never done that ever.
No.
All right.
No. I'm not
Bullshit.
saying. I'm just saying, like any quest items that you need to find in raid or whatever, you bypass all the quests.
What's the benefit
just
what's the benefit of making it so it retains found in raid?
Nothing.
I don't
Nothing.
like.
I
There's
don't know
no
why.
that completely negates the change, at least in my mind. Like,
Yeah, it does.
I feel like the biggest thing with the find and raid is like not being able to buy stuff off traders and resell it. That's the biggest thing for me.
Clean. This is all we
I
need
don't
to
think
do that.
I don't think that thing should. I don't think that thing should keep found in raid after you buy them off the flea.
Yeah.
this is the
actually
first I've
think
heard of it.
remove found in raid entirely, and then just make bought off trader.
Easy.
Right. Change it from a found in raid item to a bought off trader, and then all you do from then is nothing can go on the flea market that says bought off trader. Right. And obviously
Yeah,
some
that'd
quests
be
need to
fine.
get reworked, but then you couldn't just buy off a trader and flip it on the flea market. You could still buy and sell on the flea market just like we normally would, all that kind of
Make
stuff.
them like the golden pocket watch, and then you can get rid of all that
Exactly.
bullshit.
You get rid of
I mean,
all that
honestly,
bullshit.
it would be great if a lot of the quest items to turn in for quests weren't actual world items, but were just actual quest items that you just had to find somewhere. Like
I
if the
think all the
Salewas
quests
was
should be that.
instead of Salewas, it would be like a box of Salewas. It's like a 3x3. It's heavy.
Like the box
and
of
you,
graphics cards.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like the classic
exactly.
guy.
Yeah, it should be like actual quest items for the quests, and then that way they have no effect on the economy anymore.
Make it actually be in your inventory too, and not the quest
Yeah.
inventory.
Yeah,
But then-
So you could like
You have to
Take
find
it
out
and
how
do-
many times. Like
Just
the
once.
morphines, you have to find 5 of them. Are you gonna find
Find
a
a box of
magic box of
Yeah,
Salewas
that would be
somewhere?
like find a box.
So is it
If-
only in one spot? Like I kind of like the hunt. I like to try to find all of the, cigarettes and morphines. Like it kind of spreads
Fair
it out
enough.
a little bit better than just run to this one place over and over and over again.
So
Well, imagine
Yeah.
if it could spawn, if this item
In
quest
any
item could
jacket.
spawn in either any jacket or on any like cot So you check all the rooms in Shoreline and all the rooms in dorms, because otherwise there's no reason to unless it's locked. Or you could make it so that it was locked, behind a locked door, that the key was limited or something. But there's a million ways to do that, to make that awesome.
Did you ever play World of Warcraft?
As long as it's not
Sigma?
static. No.
Yeah.
Okay, so like in World of Warcraft.
This is like my first one. My first like FPS and real game.
So in World of Warcraft, there might be like you need to find, I don't know, boar meat. You could kill any boars anywhere. But when you're on that quest, you need to find boar meat, right? And
it's a quest item.
It's only lootable when you're on that quest. So you kill boars anywhere in the zone, and you can loot those boar meat. So it'd be very
like
similar.
a special Salewa for the Salewa quest, or special like quest specific morphine.
The flash drive in the trunk of the car. That's an item that's in the world, just like the golden pocket watch. I mean, there's no reason why it needs to even fit in your backpack, rather than go in your quest stash. The separate thing.
I agree with that. 100%. I do. I want it to still be. I don't want it to just be another static spawn quest.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I get that.
Because like right now, one of the things that's making me crazy is that there's all these chads on customs, and you have all these new players that are coming in, and they got to go do their quests.
Shit on, dude.
And all it is you're running in there to kill a bunch of level 5s to 7s to say, haha, fuck you, welcome to Tarkov, and it's really kind of annoying.
I agree.
So,
imagine if it was somewhere. Hey, Prepor says there's a golden pocket watch somewhere in dorms. I heard about a guy, a homeless guy that was hanging out in dorms, and he stole my golden pocket watch. Go find it. And because
Spawn
it's
on a
only
scab or something.
It's instanced anyway, right? Like you don't see the golden pocket watch if you're not on the quest on the floor of that truck. So they could just instance quest items.
Yeah. So an idea would be it could be on any bed in dorms. So you could go through 2-story, 3-story dorms. It could spawn on any of the beds.
You don't even need to be any bed or any static spawn. Literally, just say at the start of a raid, if it's there's 5 Saluas you have to collect from customs, and they're inside the dorm spawns, all they have to do is just fucking drag and select all of the fucking customs things and say, okay, these are custom spawns containers, and then just say, okay, when you spawn into a raid, there is 5 Saluas, and it'll spawn in 5 random containers inside dorms. It'll be in this fucking jacket or this weapon box or this med case, only you can see it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Then you've got to actually have to fucking, I don't know, search things.
Yeah.
Instead of running directly to where
Someone's asking
running to the same room.
dorms. We're using dorms as an example. This could be anywhere. Like this could be literally the new area of customs. This could be the village in Shoreline. We're just using the dorms as an example.
It could be a single room, even though, like, all you have to do is like say, oh, it's on 303 in East Dorms or whatever, and you get the key for it, and you go in there, and it's just in a random container inside that room.
Yeah,
I think that'd be the best.
I think that could work absolutely. Yeah, I like the idea of like the WoW quests. Like if you have the quest active, the quest item spawns.
Yeah, well, they sort of already do that with the mechanic key anyway, because you go to get the truck key, and there's 4 keys. That one specific jacket always has 4 mechanic keys in it to open up the truck.
He just got back from Home Depot making copies. It's in the lore.
Exactly.
It's in the lore.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think that'd be the best way to do it.
That would be nice.
I think that if they reworked all these quests to actually work like this, the game would everyone would do their quests, because it wouldn't be so frustrating.
Impossible.
It's almost like those are great ways of taking like the current quests and tweaking them just a little bit and making them actually awesome.
Remember when someone was talking about, he made a video talking about quests having purpose.
He was only whining. Pest, stop it. He was only whining, and I can't stand him.
I think his name was Mike.
Yeah, his name was Mike. Anton, do you know Mike?
Do you know Mike?
I read about him.
I heard it.
Don't know. You can't even mute.
Anton was like, "Oh shit, I gotta talk."
I'm I thought he was super gay. Apparently.
Anyway, this guy made this whole video explaining why quests should be more purposeful, and then we got the quest to do nighttime between, what was it, like 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. with an AKS 74U.
There's probably just a Russian to English translation when purposeful, but just meant complicated.
Yep.
Wait for new Jaeger's quest. Shoot people while leaning on the left side, crouching in the
On a
middle
Jaeger
stance.
quest where you have to build the camp. I think that would be good.
I've
was
described
that?
my favorite quest before, and that's going into a nice spring lit field on the summer solstice at 12:01 as the sun is setting, and then waving 3 sprigs of burning turmeric while you dance naked and kill scavs. And I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
Jaeger is like I picked. It's like a spiritual journey. That's what it's like. You met an elder samurai, and he's gonna train you.
Scav Samurai. He's got a waifu pillow with him.
There you go. I sent you one that I made.
Versus, what are you putting on in the background? What are you getting me in trouble here?
I was pausing Letterkenny.
Kill 47 scavs while bleeding and dehydrated in a single raid. Drop off 10 blood sets and a set of night vision at the Count's Cave. Extract between 1 a.m. and 1:15.
Yeah, it's called the Sesame Streets of Tarkov.
Killed Big Bird.
Honestly,
It
I'd
was
be
fair
okay
enough.
with like ridiculous quest requirements like that if it was like for a cosmetic reward or something.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, like pure
Hell yeah.
achievement quest where it's like
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
not required for the kappa. Like the 100 killer kills, I actually like that quest. It gives me purpose to go on an interchange. I don't have to farm it, but if I want to, I can. And it
Yeah.
doesn't give me a
Bragging rights.
benefit over it. Yeah, exactly. And for someone like
Bragging
me who
rights.
has nothing to do with their life but play computer games, it's perfect. And
Mhm.
you could
I want
honestly,
Sherman's coat.
you could copy pasta that for every single scav boss, and I would do every single one of them. I would
I
kill
want
Sherman
Sherman's
100
coat,
times.
dude. I need that drip.
I'd kill Rashala 100 times. And every time I go to the map, if I know the scav boss is around, I'm going for it because I want to get that done.
And they already have the clothing in the game, don't they?
Yeah,
So just
yeah.
put
They
it on
also,
the
have
pin.
the, they also have the renders for the arms because eventually we're going to be able to play as scav bosses.
I want to.
Saying,
Can we sacrifice a hat to
I can
the?
look like an Ego from the early 2000s. That's all I want.
I
Just
want
want
to
that
see a
fairy.
sacrifice. I want to open up Marked Room door and legit see a hatchling lying there, surrounded by just robed people, all like chanting.
What if
Trying to
you
get the
kill
Bitcoin out his
Glukar?
ass.
What if you kill Glukar and then you get a tattoo?
Yeah.
Buff arms too, dude.
Not a bad idea.
Just one
An
buff
easy way to
arm.
get
I
buff.
already have that.
I thought your arms didn't work.
I want Rashala's face.
Fuck. You want his what?
Lil Rashala's.
You want his face?
No, he has face tattoos.
Oh, he has a face tat?
Got the scar, doesn't he?
Does it? A scar? I thought it was a tattoo.
He's got
Antoine,
tattoos, but
you don't even show your face. What the fuck?
Have you ever even killed Rashala before, Anton?
Maybe. One time I almost did.
You're breaking up a little bit there, Anton.
So does everyone know? I don't know. There's so many people that come out and say, "Oh, Steam Audio 12.6," and I'm like, "No, Billy,
It is.
no."
Yeah, it's
He
yeah,
said
it
it
is.
is.
It
First
is.
module.
That's the major feature for 12.6.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Ghost is like,
Was
wait
in
a
the
minute.
translation? No, it was
No,
in the translation that it said no.
12.6 Steam Audio. The first module of
Yeah.
it. There's multiple modules, but
Yeah, the
Yeah.
multiple modules. Yeah, but
God,
not
I
the
hope
whole
I hope it's not
thing.
shit.
Yeah.
I hope it's good.
it's just everything turned up a little louder,
Yeah, it's just louder.
Customs is 12.7 as well.
and everybody will say it sounds fucking awesome.
Every time
this
there's time someone runs above you, it makes this like honk, 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 honk noise. And when they're below
There's
you,
just a
it's
little
more-
white chevron that just points to the sound.
You know how the beeping sounds on reserve, because if you're in a building, you shouldn't really. I mean, it should be way quieter.
What, the horn, you mean?
Yeah, the horn.
Can we just delete the horn?
we just
We should be able to shoot the
it.
horn. Yeah, we
Shoot it.
yeah, we should be able to
Yeah.
shoot those. So it'd be
Hold
cool
on.
if you could shoot all of them, then hit the switch, and nobody would know that you hit the
That'd be-
switch. They'd just see the light turn on.
That's
It's
like
like
some
told-
Metal Gear Solid shit.
Yeah.
Like,
See, okay. That actually reminds me. I wish on interchange because I was actually disappointed with how the power works. Because like when the power's off, like a lot of the lights are still on, and you can shoot them out. I wish like it was just pitch black in there, and it was only like generators and like little tiny like fires and stuff that are on, and you could go in there with night vision, and then like you could fuck somebody up. It's like, oh, it's night. Let's turn the power on. The guys who have night vision on, they're just like, oh, what the fuck, and all the lights turn on and shit. That'd be awesome.
They should do
Yeah.
that for lab as well.
Yeah, no, that's
Yep.
actually going to come to labs. So we're going to be able to force night, turn off all the power.
Love to go in there with night vision and turn off the lights and then just walk around, just fucking Sam Fish.
Can I do it?
Oh, it'd be super cool.
Bro, fuck labs right now. Honestly, you get a cheater every raid. I'll say it. I hate labs right now. It's horrible.
You're just talking about late wipe Tarkov in general, Anton.
Horrible right now, dude. It's I don't know. They gotta do.
They love labs for some reason. They love WABs.
Yeah.
They love WABs.
I don't know.
So
I
much.
ran it for 2 days. The last 2 days I
50%.
ran it, and it's been okay. It's been okay. I ran into like 2 that I confirmed was like, oh yeah, for sure.
Whisper me what servers you.
I loaded the factory today 2 times in a row. Got killed by a Shaolin monk twice with a fucking 153 completely naked with AP-20 rounds, and this cunt was literally going like fucking 9,000 kilometers an hour and just one-shotting me mid-jump, and it's like
got a better share, bro.
Desync, bro. It's desync. It's desync.
It was
I always find it so weird because I do the 0 to hero runs, the ultimate 0 to hero. I don't even have a melee weapon, and I'll just be like creeping around the basement, and you'll just hear this guy from Asia like going. It's like, like easily come around the corner. I'm like, holy shit! How much do you need that kill, man? Like, I have nothing. A dog tag.
They can see your gear.
Yeah, I was gonna say he can see the box. He can see you've got nothing.
I know, and they're coming for me.
They're just gonna stop you ass ramming those LEDXs, man, so they can get them and make the money back on their fucking their $40.
But I'm not running for cash. I'm literally running to weapon crates to try and find a gun so I can kill the scav, take their or the raider to kill their gun, take their gun.
Progression. It's
You're ruining the game. Ruining the game.
That's my job, dude.
I know it's the worst thing to say, but I love the hackers that just roll up to you like fucking like the speed of light while they're crawling.
Oh yeah, they're just like a snake.
like
Mordhau when they're surfing the shields. That's like what it looks like.
Yeah.
Every time they come up to you, I just lose my shit. It's like, what is this prig doing?
And then they steal your wallet, IRL.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's ridiculous how much those guys pay a month for hacks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous how much they pay.
Because it's crazy how much they make.
Well, yeah, it's just like most people who cheat are just rich assholes who just want to cheat because they can, and they just buy new accounts and pay 200 euros a month for fucking cheats.
Some people are just cheating so they can just make money and sell it on like G2A or whatever, so they can just make cash.
It's easier to do that than like harvest organs or whatever.
Clean, I don't know if you know, but on my channel, we call them Viagra users because they can't get the job done on their own.
Nice. I like that.
It's pretty funny. I like that.
You saying something about me, Sigma?
I've been having lots of stream snipers lately because of this server lockdown thing. I've been having like some really good ones where they're coming in with like teams of 5 and just dying continuously to me, just delivering me gear. It's excellent. They same guys. Yeah, and they're so terrible. It's so funny. Like I've been running like MP9s with Legmenter and killing like their whole 5-man team, and then they're just like mouthing off and stuff. I'm just like, but you all just died. I don't get it.
I've had one friendly stream sniper in the past, well, since I've been to Europe, and it was when I was doing duos with Lupo, and he came up and threw a fucking my sniper rifle at my feet, like my name sniper rifle. He came up.
That.
He must have killed me like ages ago and took it. And then he waited till I was doing duos with Lupo and then ran out to me and threw it at me. And I'm like,
wait, what kind of rifle was it?
M700. It's called the mostest epic sniper rifle ever.
How many mods does it have on it though?
It's got a shitload. It's very specific.
How meta is the recoil on that bolt rifle?
Horrible. It's horrible.
Because it was probably intentional, but I didn't realize that if you pick up a gun that's the same build as one of your presets, it has the name.
Yep.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be the exact same one.
It just has to have the exact same parts on the same spot.
Yeah, M700 can't have that many mods, can it?
Oh, I'll put a link in chat.
There's a lot.
Look at Cold Blood. Cold Blood did the link in chat.
Unless you had like 900 sights and lasers and lights, like
it's very specific. It's a bit weird. All right.
Imagine that.
Have you seen my harpoon gun? The M700 with no stock on it. It looks like a harpoon gun. That shit works really well. You should build one of those.
I'm keen for the DVL personally.
I want to build one in real life. I want to build a harpoon gun in real life. I'll be like Landmark, have my own juice cannon, except it's shitty bolt hack. because I'm in Australia.
Oh my god, Chad's acting as if I just told you Santa Claus wasn't real. Are you fucking kidding me, Chad?
Why is,
not real.
why is Veritas trying to take
He's
this from
not real?
Pestily?
You're
Doesn't
ruining
he
Tarkov
know?
again. Stop it.
Why is Veritas trying to take this from
Stop it.
Pestily? Doesn't he know that he just almost died? Kind of being a dick, Veritas.
Pestily still
Make a
watches
video.
the Insane Clown Posse fucking magnets. How do they work? He's just wow, it's magic, dude. I don't have the heart to break it to him, chat.
Why you gotta go make a video about it?
The
Fucking
motherfucker
A,
doesn't
dude.
even know how to use stairs, bro. Don't be so mean to him.
Get him dirty.
Dude, did you?
He
Never mind. I was.
yeeted it. Listen, Pesty, next time, land and stick the yeet. Thanks.
Yeah.
By the way,
Thanks.
thank you for all the memes. It was fucking fantastic. You guys are honestly lovely with
your-
those memes.
Your favorite meme? What was your favorite meme of all of them?
Probably the Family Guy
fucking
one with you
wasted.
two at the bottom.
Yeah, Family Guy.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Everyone.
It's
I
like
looked at
That's
that
good.
one with you on the ground with the 3 therapists 100
Oh.
times before anybody pointed out that I was in the back. It was like, oh shit, what the fuck? I thought someone edited. Was that the original, or
that
did
wasn't
someone
the
edit?
original. Someone put
Edit.
you in it.
I
Oh,
seriously
God.
didn't know for like a week.
That's actually,
good.
that was the first one that made me like, okay, open it up. I want to see all these. But the comment. So you know the one where it's like I found down the stairs is Peter Griffin and there's like Meg and fuck, what's the wife's name? I forgot her. Lois. They're downstairs or some shit, and that's you and it's Veritas and Slush Puppy, right? But my favorite comment was like, why is Pestily Peter Griffin?
Someone's first comments on that, my wife pointed out to me, was like someone's first comments on that. Like one of the first comments was like, "Why is Slosh in there? He's gay." Yeah, thanks, man. I was just like, what does that have to do with anything?
Have you tried being less gay?
Yeah, well, exactly, yeah. Man, people are so weird on the internet. I love it.
Yeah.
Slush, live in your truth, bud. Live in your truth. Embrace it.
I know, I do live my truth, mate. I'm all good. I'm still confused by the internet.
Carnage.
I don't ever want to fall down a staircase again. I'm so paranoid about going down the stairs now. It's like hand on the rail.
wait.
Can we get a picture of
Next
it?
time we go to pack together, and,
Football.
we all just walk down the stairs, and Pest is like,
It's like one of
tell
those
you,
videos of dogs like trying to go down the stairs and they're all scared and shit.
I would
Fucking
legit
paranoid,
like
jumping back and forward.
so I would pretty much run down the stairs like a very somewhere between a brisk walk and a run down the stairs. That's what I used to do like all the time. I didn't give a fuck if someone was asleep. I got joining walls with the neighbors. I don't care. I just go for it. And then that morning I did the same thing and I just slipped on the top step and went yoit like
and did you go face first?
face first.
You
And-
get a picture of the staircase?
And
Is
yeah,
it
Oh,
wood
It's so
stairs?
steep. It is so steep.
there's no
It's like a
handrail.
wall
Material
on the-
are the stairs.
There's no
It's not
handrail.
stairs, it's a fucking
They
ladder,
wood,
bro.
metal.
I'll show you a video.
We need a picture of these stairs.
All right,
I
I'll
need
show-
you to go and replicate it. Just give.
I will.
Just
It's,
give
it's
the
coming. It's
camera.
coming. Don't just.
He's
Pest
never gonna
was,
touch those
just-
stairs again.
He was just trying to beat his best time
Let's go
like
upstairs.
normal.
All right,
Make sure
all
you
right.
put a little bit of salt on this.
Speed
next time,
run
maybe.
to
What's
the
the strength?
ground
Speed run.
So,
to level
I have a
0.
staircase, 3-story.
I have a picture. Hang on.
No, I've got it on the stream right now. All right. So
That's it right there.
yeah. So I fell from. If you can see my mouse, I fell from up here. Right.
Wait,
There's
is
no-
it like turn? Is it spiral up there?
So that's the platform up there, right where the mouse is, right there. Right.
You should,
so
you should
I
put
put-
my picture. on the stream. It's awesome.
Were you home alone?
No, my wife and cousin were
No.
upstairs.
Can you imagine the fucking noise that made? Just like, "Ah!" Like,
I
it would've
yelled
been-
"fuck" like I was yelling, and see they're metal plates and like that checker plate on back of trucks and
Yeah,
stuff.
checkers.
And it's super
yeah.
slippery. So I took the first step on there, and I reckon my body hit about here first, and then grinded this outer rail all the way down.
Did you kind of like wave down the bottom like a worm, or were you like tumbling, dude?
So at the bottom,
House. Let's get up there.
so this here, see right there, that's the furnace, and I did not want to face plant that furnace because that would have I would not walk. Like that's a steel furnace.
Did you go
bolted to
straight
the wall.
down it? Like
Who
solo
built
plexus
this
on the
house?
stairs?
This is a death trap.
Yeah,
Dude, it's the Dutch.
it's like a ladder. See how narrow that is right there? You can't get
And
your
that's
whole
all
foot
metal
on a
too,
step.
huh?
You can't get your foot on the whole step. Like it's like I got size 10 feet, and it's like about half to 2/3 of my foot is on the platform. And so like on this side there's no rail, but I just on the way down in the short time I had, I tried to pull myself off the staircase so I didn't hit this fucking furnace because honestly I wouldn't be walking today.
NANI? That's crazy. So you split off the side.
You're okay though.
Did it go slow motion?
that one with the wasted.
I've got it. Okay, so I do have a video of me actually going down it. Hang on.
Face first.
Yeah.
Have I told you about
Probably just a JPEG.
You ready?
Pest?
You watching?
Oh God. No. Oh Jesus! Oh, you landed in your. That would be impressive.
Yeah.
Dismounting with the neck brace.
That's the one.
Now you're talking about grabbing a handrail. I did that just recently. Like when I first went full-time streaming, I went to go down the stairs outside my house, and they're just like a straight set of stairs with like wooden handrails. And I had my phone in my hand, and I missed the first step. And when I fell, I grabbed the rail across my body like that, and then fell backwards. And my hand went all the way down the rail, and I fell from the top. And I sort of just like went under my ass, and I was holding onto the railing with my hand, which went all the way to the bottom. But there was a nail sticking out, like a good couple of mil at the bottom. And I tore the nail all the way out of the fucking hand railing with my fucking hand. And it was like embedded in my hand. I had to go to the pharmacy and get stitches for it. It was fucked.
If I tried to grab that handrail, I would have snapped it off the wall. There's no way that my handrail would have done anything.
I didn't bother going to get proper stitches.
You should have taken the handrail with you.
Butterflies. You used butterflies, right? The butterflies.
Yeah, I just went to the pharmacy and then just butterfly stitched it together and then just put.
You did your own fucking field med kit.
Yeah,
Veritas, you have not lived, have you?
I'm not gonna go to the doctor.
All my injuries.
Have you never super glued something closed?
Yeah, I have.
I do real stitches. Why not?
But if I ever needed stitches, I wouldn't attempt that shit myself. I ruptured my spleen when I was 11. I didn't try to
fix
the spleen
back together. But it was just a gash in my hand. So I
didn't think that you could even get. I didn't even know.
They're like sticky strips, and they're like stretchy, and you just stretch them out across it, and then they pull the skin back together. So if it's not like if I had a cut my face,
you didn't sew it shut.
No, I didn't sew it shut.
Well, you said you went to the pharmacy to get stitches. That's different than you got a Band-Aid.
Well, they're not Band-Aids. They're called butterfly clips. They're like they just go over it. They're like stitches, but they don't go into your actual skin. But like if I had one on my face, I wouldn't go and get it because I'm like, I don't want to have a giant fucking scar on my face, but I don't give a shit about my hand. So I just went and but it was like a gash, like it was like all the way across the side of my palm, and it was like, well, it was about like probably a quarter of an inch deep, maybe more. And so I was nailed myself on the stairs, literally.
My mentality is always, is it worse than a previous injury I've ever had? So when I fell and I was laying on the ground, I'm like, well, it wasn't as bad as the 50 cal incident. Like that's the first thing that came to my head, right? And then I go, all right. And by this stage, my wife's running down the staircase after me. Shouldn't be running, obviously, because I just fell. and then I'm like, all right, so I'll stand up. And my wife's like, don't stand up. I'm like, no, I'm going to try it. And I get to my knees, and I'm just like, I shouldn't be standing up. And I'm like, slowly, like, I remember I was actually holding my head because my neck was that sore. And I was like, I should lay down. And then I laid down, and then I was like, don't call an ambulance, please. I was like, I'll be right. I'll just lay here for a while.
Incident. You're just going to gloss by the fact you said the 50 cal incident with no fucking context?
I've told you guys about it before, haven't I?
No.
You told me about it.
So
I haven't heard it.
I was doing a live fire activity back 2012, I think. 2011. It was a long time ago now. And I was using the 50 cal, and I was I shot probably a couple hundred rounds. It wasn't a fucking cook-off before you guys fucking start saying that shit. When the cook-off is when the gun's so hot that the round just shoots itself.
Oh.
And it can keep going if it's full auto sometimes.
Yeah. So
gun.
I'd only shot like a couple hundred rounds. It was like 300 or 400 rounds in. You wouldn't get a cook-off without shooting at least 1,000. At least 1,000. Anyway, so it was like 200 to 300 rounds in, maybe on the 400. I can't remember. And it's called a hard cock. So you get a stoppage, and the cocking handle won't go all the way back. So it goes halfway back. That's called a hard cock.
It's a hard cock.
All right, it's what it's called.
Just stop. Don't say anything.
You wanted the fucking story. You listen to it. And don't pull faces.
Give the story.
Anyway, so my corporal comes over, and he just starts kicking the cocking handle, because that's what you do.
Corporal punishment came over and...
Right.
Never
and
mind.
at this stage, my company sergeant major was standing right behind me because he was in charge of the gun line. And so he starts kicking the cocking handle, and it dislodges the round that was stuck in there. So we're like, sweet. So then I recog it, and I go ready to fire. And the command's like, yep, gun loaded, gun ready. And it's like, yep, scene on fire. I'm like, scene on. And then the company sergeant major would be like, fire, right? And so I go, yep, firing now. And as I said, firing now, I shot it. And the gun blew up. The whole 50 cal, like it was like a big puff of smoke. And when you
limp wristing it, dude, it's a common problem.
So
it's a common problem.
It was on a gun. It was on a tripod on the ground, so it was ground mounted, and you have your feet up, like literally like that, with your fucking crutch aiming at it. Right?
What happens when you kick a hard cock, mate?
So the breech, where the cartridge would normally come out, would be out the bottom of it, and because I had my feet up. When it exploded, the back of the cartridge actually exploded out of the bottom of the gun, and part of the cartridge went straight into my inner thigh, just missing my femoral artery and the crown jewels. And
you almost got cocked by a hard cock.
Yeah, and then and obviously there's a big puff of smoke and that, and
nothing in your face.
Oh, dude! So instantly I covered my face and went to the deck, right? Because my face is above the gun, nothing really. The top of the gun is like pretty much a giant piece of metal, so there's nothing that really can come out of that. So any of the sides and all the bottom, just all shrapnel went out of. I hit the ground, and then my CSM was literally standing right behind me when this happened, so he saw it all. And he's like, "You're right." He's like, trying to look at my face and that. My face is good. Fucking leg sore, and there's like all this blood just starting pissing out of my leg. And then oh my god, it was just like one of those moments where everyone just stopped what they were doing. They sprinted over, and I've never had my clothes ripped off by men as quickly as that.
Oh,
they're like ripping off. They're like straight away, pants are ripped off, my underwear's ripped off, and they're just like, "Is there any more holes?" And they're like,
next time you gloss over the incident, don't say the 50 cal incident. So you say, "I got slapped in the upper thigh by a hard cock, and then a bunch of guys ripped my clothes off."
Pretty
that's
much
the easiest way. Yeah, that's the easiest way to gloss over the incident.
And then, yeah, so the golden rule in the army is like, you've got to be within an hour of a hospital. Like, I was not within the hour. So, it took the fucking ambulance 20 minutes to get to me. And the ambulance is on the ready, like at the, anyway, so, we got all padded up really quick. I was actually part of like a really good, I was training up for what's called the dog squad, which is it's like the best section of your battalion. So I was in that squad, ready to go to a championship competition thing that was happening about a month later. Anyway, so that was my section. So they were really good with their med skills anyway. So they got it all, pressure on it and all that sort of real quick, and then took the ambulance to the hospital and got surgery a couple of days later. The fucked up thing was in hospital, like, because they didn't deem it to be like life-threatening immediately, they were like, "Oh, it's a Saturday, we'll do it on Monday." Because it was like, it was like a big hospital, but it was like way out in the country. So it was like the Adelaide hospital was like 6 hours away, so they did have to like fly me, which they didn't deem it was safe enough to like get me on the chopper and that to, because it was like, you don't want to move, but we'll wait till Monday. So I sat there, and then like every time they did the nurse runs, and like, because I'm out in the country, they do the nurse runs, and it'll be like a new nurse each day goes, "Yep, so he's got a gunshot wound to the inner thigh." I'm like, "Do you want to look at it?" Yeah.
So you're the only one in the team that's survived a gunshot wound. There you go.
Yeah. So that was fucked. That hurt. That hurt.
Man,
And then
Jesus.
the scar. I'll show you. I can't show you. On stream. I'd get banned, but I can show you the scar at some other point. And
Nice.
it's still pretty big. Not
You
where it went in. It's big where they cut it out from. They actually had to fish for it. They had an X-ray machine up against my leg during the surgery, and they were literally fishing for it in my leg because it was just that deep.
So was it like? Did they show you an X-ray of it? Was it like the rear end of the cartridge, or is it just a big piece of?
Just a big piece of the 50 cal cartridge.
Yeah.
And I know actually what happened now. So when he was kicking it, it dislodged the barrel. So a 50 cal actually, the barrel comes back and then it turns to the side, like twists to the side, and that locks it in. And in the process of kicking it, he actually dislodged it. And the round wasn't properly into the actual, it was like sticking out like that. And so when it hit the primer, the back of the cartridge got the primer got hit. The cartridge, the gunpowder inside the cartridge ignited, and instead of it being flush and the projectile going out the other end, it kind of just went area of least resistance just out the back.
Yeah.
So the round went out the gate.
Firing out of battery when it's out of the
So at the time they did an investigation, and I didn't see this till about 6 weeks later, but they actually had the barrel and they cut, and the halfway up the barrel was the entire 50 cal round minus the back half of it, as in the actual with the cartridge as well, whatever's left of it. Projectile on part of the cartridge was up halfway through the barrel, and they had it cut open so they could see it. And I was like, holy fuck, can I buy that? And they said it'd be $800. And I was like, oh, no way I can afford that. But like these days, I'd be like, fuck yeah, I'd pay $800 for it.
What if you could buy it?
It'd be gone.
What if they still got it?
It'd be well and truly gone.
I have a question for the Australians. Have you guys ever been bit by a venomous spider before?
Yeah.
Venomous spiders, yeah.
I've gotten bit by a brown recluse right here in my neck.
Spiders
Really?
aren't bad,
Right
unless
yeah, I almost died.
Seriously? Holy
Yeah, I have a
That's
scar
so
from it.
bad.
I could literally fit my pinky inside my neck here. It was gross.
wow.
I was doing combat training for the Marines, and we were out in the field for a long time. And I had this little pimple. I'm like, oh, whatever, it's fine. And then a couple days go by and it just gets bigger. And I go up to one of the corpsmen, and he's like some boot. And I'm like, hey, I got this thing on my neck, and it's this huge, like, swollen red welt with like this white center with like pus coming out of it. He's like, just put some Neosporin on it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I want to go see somebody. And so I go,
everything.
I go to the doctor on base there, and they're like, oh, you got bit by a brown recluse. And so they had to like clean it out. They had to take like hooks and like dig out all like the shit in my neck, and they had to like pack it with gauze. And I could literally like stick my pinky like in here, and they're saying like, because it was like right here. If it bit me here, it would have eaten through my artery. I would have been dead.
I got medicine. You wrote this. Put this in hole. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Yeah, that fucking necrotic fasciitis shit, man, it's fucked up.
Yeah, it's nasty, bro. It eats your flesh alive.
Most,
Yeah.
most Australian spiders won't kill you if you get bitten.
Yeah.
So-
Depends on where. If it's a child, then yeah, they can potentially die. But
Not them haunting your fucking nightmares, dude. It's the fact that they can be anywhere at any time. You put your goddamn foot in a
when you
boot.
think about them
That's where
more,
they are.
there's a higher chance that they'll show up. So don't think about spiders, and they don't exist.
Man, it's
Funny
a-
fact too: if spiders were
chance-
about the size of a dog on average, the human population would be down by like 30%.
Oh,
Because
if
they
they
would
were.
be, because they'd kill
They're
people a
worse
lot.
than-
This
like
is,
the thing is,
yeah.
like with your boots and stuff like that,
I
it's
get
pretty
you.
simple. It's like, don't leave your boots outside. How hard's that?
You know,
Like,
I have
I
nearly
know.
died to a spider before, and I'll tell you how this was, right? So, I knew there was a spider in my car. 100%. I was like, there's a fucking spider in my car. It was a big huntsman. Like, in Australia, they're like this big.
They're non-venomous, right? They just like hunt.
They're harmless. You could put it on your
yeah.
hand. You could.
If they bite you, it fucking hurts. But
It'll hurt.
Like birds, don't they?
Anyway, I was driving down the road, doing like, I don't know, like in
was
miles,
crushed.
it'd be like 40 miles an hour. And I look to the window to do like a head check to change lanes. and I look at the window, and it was like right there next to my face. And the reflex action was to like, whoa, like, you know, like that. And I went from the right-hand lane across 2 other lanes and nearly hit the gutter. I swear I should have mounted that gutter and hit it to Adobe pole, which in South Australians will know what they are. A big telephone pole. Other side, mate. We're in Australia. It's the other way. It's the opposite. You would go right. So it would be like looking left and going that way. Wait, no.
Over traffic.
I'll take your word for it. I don't.
Yeah. Oh,
Even
dude,
on oncoming traffic.
No.
the wrong.
It's like you being in the right-hand lane. The left-hand lane in America.
Oh,
on
you
the right-hand side
turned
of the
away
road.
from the spider, is what you're saying.
Correct.
Okay.
And I was like, I honestly, if I'd gone like another couple of yards, 8 feet.
Wait, fuck the car. Where's the spider?
I don't know.
I would have gotten out of the car.
Burn the car.
See, like this, if I saw that spider, it would not scare me normally. It was just the fact that it was like right there, and as I turned my head, it was like, oh, fuck.
I watched a woman once. I was stopped at the lights, and she got out of her car and like just walked away from it, and the car just rolled into the intersection and just like fucking nudged up against like one of the traffic lights. And I got out of the car, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "There's a fucking spider in my car." It's like she just got out, walked away, car still running, just let it run into a wall.
It's like the appropriate reaction. Well done.
Yeah,
This is
like,
what they
"I'm not
look.
getting back
This is what they look like. Like on your hand, they're not. They won't hurt. Like they're that big.
Fuck off, bro.
Little lanky boys.
But they're not
really
like.
big."
Fuck off, bro. No, dude.
They go like lightning though. Like when you touch them, like if you poke one while it's on the wall, they just go and just like take off like a fucking rock.
If I see one in the house, I don't even kill them. I just put them on a piece of paper and take it outside and let it outside.
It's like the sun spiders or the camel spiders. We have those in Vegas. Those are the scariest shit. I will play with the tarantulas all day long because in the summers there's usually like tarantula crossings across the ranch. But those goddamn
tarantula crossings?
Yes. Many tarantulas just crossing through the desert. But the sun spiders, the camel spiders, no, they will chase you.
Fuck camel spiders. Yeah.
Oh my god. Yes.
Fast as fuck.
I have considered moving. Like the second I saw one, like what's the most important items in this home to me? I'm out. Yeah.
Demon.
I mean, I've punched a snake in my life. A black mamba. A snake. Like we went on a hunting trip and a snake sailed up, and these snakes can stand up to like a fucking meter up and look you in the eyes. And it's pitch black. I'm sitting in my truck. It sails up, looks at me, and I swipe it, and I jump over the other seat and out the door.
Viking.
Oh, fuck that, dude.
I pissed on a snake once in Queensland.
Wait, whoa. That's like animal fucking cruelty, bro.
No, man. He was invading my personal
statute limitations on animal cruelty.
He was invading my personal space, man. He came. I was so in Queensland though, when there's a lot of snakes, you can this will happen quite often. You'll open up the toilet, and sitting inside the toilet will just be like a fucking frog or like a snake with its head just up in the water. Trust me, it happens like fucking heaps when you live out in the bush and stuff like that. And opened up the toilet, started blizzing, and then out of the thing, and I was just like, "Fuck you!" and just started pissing on its face. I was just like, "Get away from me!" So it's like.
A lot of time you'll go for a piss. You'll go camping and then you'll go for a piss and then you'll just be like, "Holy fuck, there's a snake coming over there." And you you just finish your piss. You don't run. You don't do anything weird because if you start running, that's where you get, their attention.
Hell yeah, bro.
That's more like Kid Rock.
So exotic.
Not as bad as that bitch Carol Baskins.
Did you end up finishing that song?
Yeah, where's the song?
No.
You've had 2 weeks.
I haven't been able to financially recover.
Is it I saw a hatchling?
Mm-hmm.
I've been working on mine for I saw a chunker for my cat.
Ow! Hair gets in your eye and it hurts.
I don't think it's hair. I think it's plastic.
Are you gonna financially recover? Are you gonna be okay?
I'll be all right.
God damn it, Carol Baskin, you bitch.
I can't wait to do my therapist cosplay. That's gonna be.
Wait, what?
You're gonna be
When I
Yeah,
moved
we're
to
all
Texas,
excited for
It'll be
this.
private, Fast.
me and a lot of my buddies are gonna do Escape from Tarkov range days, where we dress up as a lot of the EFT bosses and shoot guns.
Hell
That'd be
yeah.
awesome.
Who did the gun
Is this what
shooting?
range was
Like,
from?
it's the chick from the Cup song. Someone did the Cup song and shooting pistols at the same time.
There was 2 girls in that video.
No.
Oh.
Shadow's mask is so cool.
Oh.
Cups.
It looks crazy.
Jim Bush.
I heard girls, cup, and gun.
This one for chat. You guys should watch it. I'll put it in the Discord later. We should probably finish this one up here.
Mike, that's a fucking strike.
You're not going to get me banned on Twitch. I'm not going to allow it. If I'm going down, you're going down with me, Veritas.
Unmute.
All right, we're going to finish this one up here. It's well past midnight for me, and I'm streaming now for over 10 hours, and I'm pretty ready for bed. So, guys, Klean, thanks very much for coming along. It's good to have a bit of banter.
Yeah, dude,
in
thanks
chat.
for the invite. Much appreciated. Thank you.
We'll be back next week, guys. For anyone in chat and that, doing our weekly podcast of just us talking shit and talking about Tarkov. We try and do a bit of everything as well as Tarkov, but good to have a bit of banter as well.
Maybe when there's some new games out to play.
Be good when there's some
Hell
new
yeah.
games. Was it Last of Us 2 next week?
I'm not
Last
gonna play it.
of
It's
Us
not on PC.
Diablo. Yeah.
But anyway,
I just want sub.
go.
So
Next patch coming out for Tarkov.
If you're listening on
white.
YouTube or watching on YouTube, there'll be links to everyone down below. Go give Klean a follow on Twitch, and don't follow Veritas. All right.
Yeah, fuck
And,
him, dude.
Nobody's following me here anyway.
You'll cringe at him, dude.
I've probably banned them all anyway.
Why so toxic, sir? Why so toxic, streamer?
It's exactly why you shouldn't follow him, dude.
Go follow all the team members. I'll give a link right now. If you're watching on YouTube, the links will all be down below. Give everyone some love. If you found anyone interesting, you want to give them, ask them more questions. Go ask some questions. And thanks for watching. I'm gonna run the outro and cheeky ad, and then we'll send the people to someone else within the Tarkov community. And love you guys. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.